Hello and a very good morning. Welcome to Shop on TV. I'm Hayley Green.
And I'm Sean Crawley.
Together we're Shayley, and together we have got a product that's going to solve this problem. If you've got leaks and the weather's been so hot and buildings can expand and contract, and that's how those cracks appear, that's how the leaks happen. And when you've got a leak, it can be a nightmare.
This is the product to solve that problem. When you see it in action, you see how instantly it solves that problem for you. And this is the great thing. It's not a short-term fix, is it?
This can actually last for up to 10 years or 10 years or more. How amazing is that? We have different sizes for you. You've got an amazing product that you virtually just slap on. You don't need to be a DIYer, whether it is on a roof, whether it is on a window, whether it's your window, your bay window, whether it's a porch, whether it's a conservatory. We have got it in white as well. Perhaps it's your shed and it's leaking terribly, or perhaps you know when the rains come and we know the weather is going to change because it's been amazing that leak will be there. You honestly have got the solution here.
It stops leaks in almost all building materials. That instant fix for you from Roof Fix, and it's multi-surface. So all the different surfaces we're going to show you and go through all those surfaces. But it's not just roofs. You can use it on things like guttering as well. Any kind of guttering, whether it's plastic, whether it's concrete, whether it's raw iron guttering, you slap it on, take away any excess dirt, slap it on, and it fixes the problem straight away. It's got Draylon fibres in there that knit together and stop a leak in its tracks.
Even if it starts raining straight away, whether it's a flat roof, whether it's flashing, whether it's porches, guttering, PVC, garage roof, roofing panels, sheds, conservatories, greenhouse, a lean-to, honestly, you have got the solution. We're going to run you through the colours and sizes really quickly. Yes, because you have three different choices of colour. You have a white, you have a grey, and you have a black. Now, we haven't got thousands of stock, and this show often can be a sellout, especially with the big bundle. But we'll start at the very beginning. First of all, you've got a 1 litre. Your details on the screen. It's $22.99. Now, only if you know exactly where that leak is, get the smaller tin, because you're always going to wish you bought more.
So that's 1 square metre of coverage. 562973 is the item number. If you've never shopped with us before, go to the website shopontv.co.uk. We've got loads of demonstrations coming up for you. We're going to go to a 5 litre tin, and the more you buy, the more you save with Roof Fix. The 5 litre is $59.99. 811037. It's available in black, in white and grey, and you've got PayPal Pay in 3 available if you pay online. $21.65 on your first of 3 payments. So $59.99 gets you 5 square metres of coverage, and that's pretty much enough to cover a shed roof, just to give you an idea.
But if you are thinking of that garage roof, if you want to make sure you've got some spare left over as well to go into the shed, just in case that leak happens, because that's when you want this product, this is the deal to go for. This normally £240, $239.99. You've actually saved with this, honestly, $59.99.
It's like you're getting a tin free, isn't
so
it?
It is exactly that. It's like you're getting a tin completely free of charge. It's like you're paying for 3 tins, you've got a whole tin free of charge. This will cover 20 square metres. This could be the whole garage roof and some left over. And remember, all you do is virtually slap it on. Those Draylon fibres, they weave together and they stop the leak instantly. So that leak, even if it starts raining right now, that leak will be gone. Honestly, we're going to be so busy on this. The weather has changed. We've got glorious weather, but it is the weather that creates those leaks. You see the cracks in the houses. It's the same on your roofs or your bay window or your conservatory, and our houses are moving all the time, and this solves the problem. And honestly, approved by the Ministry of Defence, London Underground.
Lots of trade,
The reason you don't find this in a DIY, this isn't in a DIY store if you're thinking I've seen it before, because this is actually a professional trade paint.
It's not a bitumen paint. This has those Draylon fibres we talked about that knit together. Now, when it comes to Roof Fix, there are so many different surfaces that you can use it on. It is multi-surface, so wood, OSB, galvanised steel, asbestos, things like fiberglass and plastics, metal, acrylic and PVC, polycarbonate and tiles, and then all your different types of guttering as well. The best buy is on the screen, 360400. 007.
Love the fact as well you can use PayPal Pay in 3 to split the cost, and just think of what you can save. A lot of people do save it in the 5-star reviews. It saved them thousands of pounds. They'd had a roofer out and they couldn't believe the cost of what it was going to be to have that roof actually replaced, and then they used Roof Fix and it did the job for them. They applied it, the leak had stopped and solved the problem at just a cost to the price. It is a phenomenal product and we love it here at Shop on TV, but remember it does sell very quickly, and I know already we're thundering down to double figures, so it's only going to be as long as the stock is there. But another product that you absolutely love and always disappears very quickly is our Black Magic.
Yeah, this is a multi-purpose paint that's also got a built-in rust converter. The 1 litre tin is just £26. It adheres to metal, plastic and glass, even timber and MDF. 533558 is your item number. It's £26 for 1 litre, but the best buy and the one that normally sells out first is the 2.5 litres. You'll use this on so many different surfaces. £45 your price, 974362 is your item number. When it comes to application, that's simple as well.
Honestly, you just virtually paint it on. It never leaves any brush marks. It gives you this sort of satin finish. It looks like that's how you bought it. The finish is amazing. So things you might think you'd need to throw away, it actually converts them back to looking new. And it stops that rust. It's a rust converter, so that rust won't actually come back. We'll show you in more detail later on, but if you did miss out on this previously, you have got it available right now. So 974362 is your item number. Please do shop ahead of us on the website, shopontv.co.uk, but please make sure you do not miss out on anything tonight, because this is always a massively busy show. We only have stock when stock is available, because Flag Paints, who design these paints, they actually provide to trade. So when they manage to give us stock, we actually have the shows, and my word, we are always really busy and starting really busy as well. Remember, what you've got here is one product that does virtually everything.
Again, the great thing about this, you just slap it on, it doesn't leave any brush marks behind. I did a balustrade, a wrought iron balustrade outside the front door, and it looked like new. It's that factory finish it gives you every single time. Black Magic, the best way to go is the 2.5 litres. 974362 is your item number, and because you're spending over £30, you can use PayPal Pay in 3.
And I think the last 2 times we've done this show, us personally, that has sold out. So please do grab it while the stock is available. And of course, spending over £30, split that cost. That's where it replaces, so you don't need any primers. You virtually just slap this on. You brush away any sort of loose bits, but then polish it and paint it straight onto the rust, and it converts that rust and keeps it looking new. It gives it a new lease of life. It's a phenomenal product. But we've got to get back to our Roof Fix and show you how this is going to solve any leak problems. We'll even show you how it stops cardboard leaking and makes cardboard
Well, we say
waterproof.
we'll show you.
Yeah, it's amazing. How are you, my lovely?
How are you?
We've got Alan with us,
Sean,
which is always an absolute treat. For lots of people watching, Alan, I think they're going to think, I've seen this before. I bought it from a DIY store.
No,
They haven't, have they?
Let me give you some numbers. 1939 is 21 minutes to 8, if you're talking about a 24-hour clock. But,
Oh, dear.
but it's true.
It's going to be a long 3 hours.
1939 is a long time ago, and that's when Flag Paint started.
Yeah.
And I say that to you to really conjure up that this company has been around for a long time. And as you said, you don't see this in the DIY stores. And that's why if you go into a DIY store and you go in and say, I've got a leak in my roof, I need to do something about it, it'll go, yeah, you need some bitumen, okay? And you would get the bitumen and you would put it up on your roof, and it will make surfaces waterproof, but it doesn't bridge gaps and it doesn't fill holes the way that this does.
So it doesn't stop those leaks.
It doesn't stop the leaks. So I'm going to show you a little demonstration right off the bat, okay?
Right.
Now, please understand this. I am not putting bitumen down.
No,
I put it down. I put it down.
It's got waterproofing properties. Oh, God, you're in one of them moods tonight.
It is, isn't it? I'm
But
working
it
with
is
you guys. I'm
nothing
so happy.
like Roof Fix. It's actually Roof Fix is going to stop the leak, and you'll see the difference.
So
here.
this, and as I said, we're not saying anything about it. I'm not being nasty about it. It does waterproof surfaces. But throughout the evening, I'm going to show you the difference in it and why it doesn't do the same job as Roof Fix. So what I'm going to do is I've got some bitumen in here, and you'll notice here that I've got these little funnels. Now, the reason I've got these little funnels is they're really small. So the hole there, the outlet, is very small. So if anything is thick at all, are too thin, it'll just run through it, okay? And I've got 2 of those, you can see 1 and 2. So I'm going to get a little brush here, and I'm just going to get some bitumen, and I'm going to get some up, and I'm going to pour it into the hole just there.
And through.
And we can see immediately it runs right through
So
it.
if that was your shed roof, that's now dripping over your lawnmower, the kids' bikes. That hasn't solved the problem.
Now, let's make this very, very clear. And folks, as I say, I'm always going to be very truthful with you. This bitumen here, if we paint this onto this paper, it will waterproof the surface that you put it onto, and it will, but it doesn't bind and it doesn't bond, and it doesn't do what Roof Fix does. And when you see this next demonstration, you'll go, ah, now I get it. So let me open this up just here. Now, I have always said to you that a friend of mine, a friend of ours, Peter used to demonstrate this for a long time, and I used to watch Peter doing it, and I was so jealous of this wonderful product. I genuinely was. I said, oh, that is such a great product, because it just literally is so amazing, and the job that it does is incredible. Then I got speaking to Martin, who was from Flag Paints, and then he gave me some, and I put it on a roof at home, and wow, the difference. It's just incredible. Now watch this, okay? So I'm now going to try and get some of the Roof Fix up here.
Now look at the difference.
And I'm going to drop this. Well, you can see already that I'm not having very much luck getting that in there. But let me do my very best to get as much as I can in and push it through even. Look at that, I've pushed it through. But you can see it's not going anywhere.
It's not travelling.
It's not travelling, and it will sit there all day and all night long.
The leak.
That has fixed that leak. It's bridged that gap, and I'll show you how it does that, because what it does is brilliant. Now, I'm going to talk to you about these little fellows here, and you can see here, Draylon reinforced fibres. Now, this is what reinforces this, and this is absolutely true, okay? What happens here with these is these have to be computer controlled, the cutting of them, because they have to be so precise to do exactly the job that they need to do, and that is to knit together. And if there were different lengths, they wouldn't knit together for different thicknesses, so they have to be perfect. And when this is then put through the, you can see there the Roof Fix, you can see that's what knits together. They're computer controlled cut to be the perfect fibres, the perfect size in every which way.
And you can virtually see them in your Roof Fix when you slap it on, and you only need to slap it on. And they weave together. Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's the difference in this and anything else, quite frankly, that it is that weaving of those together that bridge that gap, make and fill that hole. And that's why if we can just pop up here, if you don't mind, to this just here, because if we look at this bit of a roof here, I just had this made up just to show you. So we can see we've got some felt on here. Now, it could be a split, it could be a crack, it could be a chunk out of it like this. Now, if we put on that the bitumen here, it's not going to fix this, because clearly we can see that is a big hole in that just there, you can see. But of course, then when we comes to fixing it with Roof Fix, well, we're into a different type of a material completely. And the great thing about this, and you'll see this in some videos as we go through, I've been shaking this so it's already shook. Make sure you shake yours, right, and give it a bit of a mix. You don't have to heat this. It's not a tar, it's not a bitumen. This is, well, it's Roof Fix basically, isn't it? So all building materials, and we'll even show you how we've waterproofed cardboard, which is ridiculous. I know that's not a building material, but that's how good it is. It's amazing. And the words that you've been saying since we started, well, the word that I want to go on to is slap it on, and that's exactly what we do.
Slap it on.
Now let me just show you this, okay? You'll see this in the videos later. I'm just going to pour some of this onto this roof and just show you, okay? I'm going to be quite liberal here with that, okay? And now you can see that I'm just going to get this with this here. Look with my my squeegee.
Where's the hole gone?
And I'm spreading that.
Where's the rip gone?
And now what's happened is those Draylon fibres have come to life, and they have literally covered that hole, which was just there. And now I push that through. Oh, by the way, just to say to you as well, ladies and gentlemen, 1 litre for 1 square metre. I think you did mention that earlier on, Sean and Hayley. But just to say to you as well, people often say, well, how do I know, you know, how much to put on, where to put it, or what? It will self-level anyway. You don't have to be particular about it. I'm just being a bit particular here because I don't want it all over the floor. But you get the idea of how easy this is. But if you have a roof, so the 20 litres that you get, because the single garage roof is between 16 and 19 square metres. Okay. So that's why the guys at Flag Paints have put those 4 together. Yeah, and that is the busiest actually, and that's the details on the screen.
Really busy. What
right
a busy
now.
start.
And split that cost over your
Flexible payments.
Flexible payments, which is
PayPal.
PayPal.
We've had a couple of
Pay
days off.
in 3. I'm completely lost tonight. And that allows you to split that cost over those 3 payments. It's an amazing product that instantly fixes that leak.
Yeah.
We've just seen Alan do this, but you'll see exactly how it works. Even if it starts to rain, straight away.
Yeah, and look how those fibres that we talked about knit together, they stop the problem. I love a product that does what it says on the tin. This does exactly what it says on the tin.
And it does it instantly, even if it starts raining, and that's not temporary.
No, this is designed to last for around 10 years, or as Martin says to me, Alan, or more, because they have to give, when you're doing anything, of course, you have to say, you have to have things tested. And this is tested for 10 years, but they've had cases that's been even longer. Remember, it's been around since 1939. So if you have a big roof and you're wondering, how do I get it on here the best? If you're going to use a squeegee, get up there and literally get a chalk, sweep away the debris, of course, the loose stuff. And on the roof, just chalk out a square metre.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or if it's the 5-litre ones that you're getting, a big 5 square metres. Dump it into the middle and then just go like that and just keep going until it's filled that square. And then do it again.
Yeah.
And it's fine that you do that because it will then get together and it will just meet up anywhere where you are.
Now, Alan, we've got a stock update already, and honestly, we did not think tonight we would have a stock update. Honestly, this always flies. If you are going for the 4 5-litre tins, which will do a garage roof with a bit left over as well.
In the black, already 10% of the stock is allocated and going through in sale. So please, if you want that black option, it is like you're getting a tin free, remember, because you're buying 3 at $59.99. It's like we throw one in free. It works out £9 a litre.
That's
so
crazy,
it's brilliant
isn't it?
value. 360407. Remember, it does come in 3 colours, in black, in white, or in grey. But go to the website and you'll see everything we have available, all the different sizes. ShopOnTV.co.uk and you'll see everything there. When you click on each individual item, it'll ask you what colour you want to go for. Just select which option you want, black, grey or white. In the 1 litre, grey is really busy.
Now grey's really popular, but a lot of buildings, a lot of the new builds have got grey windows now. So perhaps you want to do a grey roof, you want to do perhaps you've got a bay window that's grey and again it's leaking and you just can't solve that problem. There's your colour options. Grab them whilst the stock is available. Remember, we're busy. If you're going for this option, which is the 5-litre tin, 10% of the grey has already sold out and gone. 811037 is your item number. And of course, you have got PayPal Pay in 3 to split that cost over those flexible payments.
Busy on the Black Magic as well. We will get to some demonstrations to show you that multi-purpose rust converter paint shortly. But we want to talk about surfaces because it is Roof Fix M, isn't it?
Yes, from multi-surface. By the way, can I just ask you to show me where that hole was? And it was quite a big hole that we had on this as well.
It's so good.
Well, it's actually because I know it's just there. That's where it is, just there.
And
but
it
you
was
can't
a
see that.
big split.
And if I'd have put bitumen there, it just would have ran through and it would have been a nightmare. Now, immediately, we could start to pour water on that right now, and it is watertight. It would take about 16 hours to be dry to the touch, 2 to 3 days then if you want to over-apply. If you do want to put some more on, to it. Then if you do it and you go, oh, I didn't do that right just there, because if you get to 20 litres, you're probably going to use about 16 or 18 litres. You'll have a bit left. So if you do miss a bit or you're not so great with it, but as Martin says, he said, you don't have to be a painter.
You slap it on.
You slap it on.
Honestly,
just
and it's so satisfying, especially with a squeegee or a paintbrush, whatever you want to use. It's so easy and great.
And we'll show you the application again in a few minutes.
My mum had her roof fixed. Well, she had someone out about 3 times, and then eventually we chose someone, and they took the whole roof off. But it had been leaking forever.
We were like,
put it all back on, and we were like, yes. And it still leaked. She still had the buckets everywhere. She knew where the leaks were.
How did we stop it?
Roof Fix.
Roof Fix,
I spoke to Martin and I said, do you think it will work? It's like a bit of a sort of a glass lean to, and he was like, yes, it's different materials. Yes, try it. It's the only thing that worked, and it solved, well, it would have saved us a fortune had we used Roof Fix before we got the roofers out.
And you both remember Pizzanini, my pizza business that we have, myself and my lovely wife Ellie, up in Peterborough. You've eaten the pizzas from them many times. And we had a problem because it was a single skinned horse box, so the roof was just
didn't you?
we did. We got this. There was no wheels on it, had it made. It was beautiful. We loved it. But what happened was, in the really bad weather, where the rivets were going through, it started to leak, drip, drip, drip. And of course, we couldn't have that in a food premises because that's very unhygienic. And I was wondering, how am I going to fix this? And this is going back a few years ago. And Peter said to me, he said, "Al," he said, "you were talking about that." I said, "Roof Fix." Genuinely got up, got it, poured it on top. Squidgy, 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 squidgy.
Oh, amazing.
Perfect.
Done.
Still on it to this day, and that's probably about 3 years ago, I suppose.
Amazing.
3.5 years ago we did it. So it genuinely works.
And
it
remember,
really
you
does.
can't get this in the DIY stores. It's not bitumen, which they'll recommend you use, which has waterproofing properties,
Yes.
but doesn't actually
Fill the
solve.
hole,
Yeah, doesn't solve the problem and fill the holes. But honestly, this works on so many different products. And what we'll see here is, because you've actually compared here, bitumen again and roof fix.
Yeah, so what we've done is when each of these surfaces, so what we've done here is we got a little circular saw and we cut right through over to here, this pipe here, or this gutter, down pipe, whatever it might be. And you can see with nothing, you can see that slit. Let me tilt it forward so you can see through. And then just here we put bitumen.
Still
now,
there,
if you
the
see when I
hole,
put my
yeah.
hand through, you can see it changing. You can still see through it. But then where we put the roof fix, absolutely watertight. And watertight as soon as you put it on. Even if the surface is damp, doesn't matter, you can still apply this. This is how clever it is. The felt, we've just shown you this a second ago. You can see that split, that crack here. I always think that Superman's going to come and fly backwards around the world and that's going to close back. That's just me.
What an
see
imagination this man has.
I love the Superman movies.
You
And
love
every
all
time I
movies,
see it, I just keep thinking about that. Bitumen, you can see right through it just there, that hole again. But look at here where we have the roof fix. Those Draylon fibres have knitted together and bridged that gap. And remember, for 10 years and probably even more.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, it's like those things when they say best before such a date. You know you've got 2 or 3 days
And
after.
way beyond.
Yeah, way beyond. So yeah, you get more. Look at this. Now what we did is we got a roof tile here. We cracked it all the way through. Again, you can see here where the bitumen is, nothing. But roof fix completely
It's amazing, isn't it?
covered.
So clever.
Because you wouldn't think with the, I don't know why, a roof tile, really, it's going to work on that. Yes. it works.
Absolutely.
All building materials.
Well, glass roofs, things like that, anything at all.
Yeah.
It
Back
doesn't
to
matter.
those fibres that knit together
It's
and
all
lock
to
the
do
hole.
with, yeah, that's it. And they just get
So
together and they literally, and again, genuinely, it's computer, they have to use a computer for the cutting of this. It has to be so precise, down to the, like nanometers almost.
And this is used by the Ministry of Defence, London Underground.
London Underground as well, yeah, government buildings as well to...
And a really big
Antique
store.
centre,
Biggest antique
in
centre
Europe.
in Europe.
yeah,
And they
that's
used it
right.
on their roof, didn't
That's
they?
right. And then they moved, and then they came and got more as well because they
To
needed...
put onto that
And Martin
roof.
was like, oh no, do you need to do it again? And they're like, no, we've
we
moved. And
moved.
we want the security of
That's
having
it.
roofing.
And that's the thing, you don't have to have a problem. If you're, you know, let's say you move into a house, because this is exactly what happened with Ellie and I. When we moved back down to Surrey from Peterborough, and we were up there, we're renting her brother's house. Her brother and her uncle have this little house, and we're renting it. And there's a little lean-to kind of shed outside, and that's where I put a lot of the samples and stuff. I must keep it dry.
Yeah.
And it was damp in there, and there was actually bits of kind of ivy and stuff growing in there. So I just cut that back, got up, and slapped on my roof fix, and it's
Love it.
perfect. It's so
is-
good.
it is that
So
easy,
you don't
isn't it?
have to particularly have problems even if you move in somewhere and the roof is a couple of years old and you just worry that little bit.
Prevent.
Yeah.
Put it on there, you know, and
Prevent
prevent
it
it.
happening.
Now, where are we up to?
So flashings, all kinds of timber composite, you've got all sorts. It doesn't matter, you can put it on absolutely everything as we go down along this here. It doesn't matter. And you can see even here the bitumen was having problems
gosh,
sticking
yeah.
even here. Look at that. The coverage wasn't great, but this is super, super adhesive. It really does stick very well. Great properties. When you put it down, it literally grabs hold and it sticks and it holds. It's brilliant. And then one of the things that people ask is, and this is really important as well, is what you don't want to, oh, listen, this is important too, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
without a
Because it gives
doubt.
you an idea of everywhere where you can
All
use
the
it.
different areas. It's not just the areas that we've shown you. Things like composite plastics, metal, acrylic, PVC. And then go to the other side of the screen. When it comes to guttering, it's not just... Because when I first started, I thought, oh, PVC guttering, yes. I didn't think cast iron, metal, copper, concrete. Brilliant, isn't it?
It's
Absolutely
amazing.
brilliant.
All building materials. So if you're going from one building material to another, it honestly will work the same on each. And even when the weather changes again, it won't split and create that hole so that leak is back. This will last for 10 years
Yeah.
or more.
Now,
It's absolutely amazing.
What are you looking at, Al?
I'm just pointing out here, it says bitumen age. So if you move somewhere and somebody had tried to repair a roof with bitumen and it's been there a while, you don't even have to try and remove that. Put this straight on top of it.
Fabulous.
And that's how great this is at sticking.
Now we've got more stock disappearing. If you are going for the 1 litre, the 5
5
litre that covers the 5 square metre, 20%.
20% of the black in the 5 litre option
Flying tonight.
has gone. So please, if you see a colour and a size that you want, get it quickly in your basket. 811037 at £59.99. It's a reduced price. And again, against buying the single litres, it's so much better value.
But still, the best value is the 4, because you'll actually get a whole tin completely free of charge. If you're going for the 4 5 litres, this will cover 20 square metres. That will be your garage and a bit left over as well.
Beyond.
Yep, for those accidents, that morning you wake up and the leak is there, you'll have some left over. This should be virtually £240. It's gone down £60 practically to £179.99. So it's like you're just paying for 3 tins, you're getting a 4th tin completely free.
And just choose the colour once again. Black, grey or white are your options available. Actually, when it comes to application, Alan, let's show everyone just how easy it is.
Yeah, and it couldn't be easier. Now, look, let's talk you through this. So get rid of the loose bits that you have. You can see there's some growth and stuff there, loose stones. Just brush them away. That's all. You don't have to be, it doesn't have to be completely clean, but as long as you have all of the loose bits away from it, that's fine. Do the little intricate areas first, so you wouldn't slap it on. Well, you're slapping it on, but you wouldn't just pour it on there. Get your brush, spend 20 minutes or so just going around the edges like that. Once you've done all of those little areas and you go, okay, so I've done all of that, you can, of course, continue with the brush, but there's the way to do it. Slap it on. And this is what I said to you earlier. You might want to mark out a 5 square metre area so you know exactly how far a full tin should cover. And that's really, really helpful then. Just go up to the edge of the lines that you've drawn and look at that. Just draw it out. That's
so
all
satisfying,
you've got to
and
do.
it virtually sort of levels itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
So clever.
It's
So
great.
can you put too much on or too little?
No, not really. I mean, if you put too little, you'll see where you've scraped it away to put a little bit more on. But if it's too thick in areas, it doesn't matter. But you will find anyway that it will self-level. It will kind of run into itself. But you're not going to have any issues like that. But once you do it anyway and you follow the guidance of the 5 litre tin, if you're doing it, just pour out, mark out a 5 square metres, just with a bit of chalk.
Great tip.
That's all.
Great.
And just draw the lines and just pour it in the centre of it and spread it out to the edge, and it's done.
And how
looks
cool.
great
I mean,
as
it does. It looks, the finish is perfect. And
looks so much better.
So many 5-star reviews for this. We've worked with this product for years. But for anybody watching, because obviously the cracks in buildings happen because the weather makes your building expand and contract. So you'll see a crack in the wall, won't you? Or that could be a crack in the ceiling that's causing your leak. How come when the weather, once you've applied it, when the weather changes again, still our buildings are going to move? So why doesn't this crack?
But not only do they move due to different weathers, different materials move at different rates.
Oh, gosh.
So everything is moving
So
differently.
you've put this on lots of different bits.
Yeah, the flashing, it's up on the flashing, it's on the felt, it's on some tiles, it's on that, and they will contract and expand at different rates. But this is thermoacrylic. I love saying that as well, thermoacrylic. And basically, it's almost alive. So if something spreads a little bit, it will move a little bit. If something spreads more, it will. Well, let me show you actually, because this is great. I've put some onto this here. You can see this is just some plastic corrugated, okay? So if I do this and just say one thing expands this much, but then something else expands that much, or that much, or that much, or pulls apart like that, it doesn't matter. It will react to the movement on whatever material. And look, even if I do this all the way around, it's not cracking.
And that's why it's not temporary and it can last for 10 years or more.
That's exactly it.
How
so when it gets
amazing.
really cold, it's not going to become brittle. When it gets really hot, it's not going to just run away and become, you know, too thin and just disappear. This has been designed. And that's why, folks, it's really important to know that flag paints since 1939 only do, and it's a really funny story if you don't mind me saying, telling you about it. So Martin, you probably know this story, but Martin, when I went to his house, he got a great coffee machine. I'm a real snob of coffee now since I've got my own coffee place. But he made some coffee. It was beautiful, met his lovely wife. And he was saying, he said, Al, he said, it's funny, he said, because we have no time, and I don't mean no time, no care. We don't have time to do everyday DIY paints, he said, because we are so busy, we're so big in the world of industry in terms of the MOD, as we mentioned, London Underground, and massive things like that, that's all they do.
Specialists.
But he was
Right.
contacted about 20 odd years ago. I think it was it 15, 20 years ago? Was that long?
Yeah.
And he said that he was asked by somebody, would he make a specialist paint to bring onto ShopOnTV? And he said, not really interested. He said, no, come on, just do it because we'd like to do this. And he went, okay. And RoofFix came along, and and he loves doing it now. He doesn't like doing the shows himself. He loves when someone else does his shows, but he loves that he's been represented with this great product because he's super, super proud of it. He's given me these props and he's warned me if I ruin any of them,
You're in trouble.
they're more important than me.
And
these
they've been
are.
going for years because once you've
Donkeys.
applied the product, it stays like new. It's
It
absolutely
does.
amazing. Now, they're the details for the 1 square metre, which is a 1 litre tin, $22.99. You need to know exactly where that leak is to get that 1 litre tin. However, the best options are to go larger. If you go for the 5, times that by 5, we're over £100.
Yeah.
And actually have a look at the 5 litre tin.
$59.99.
So you've
Brilliant.
already saved
And
massively.
I think it's great to have in your shed, in your garage,
Have
just
the
in
spare.
case you have a
Just
problem.
in case, absolutely. I totally agree with you. I want to show you a really cool little prop that I have here. So if we look at this bit of guttering here, okay, so what we did, well, I say we, Martin did many years ago, is he cut this from here all the way around and had it in 2 and literally put it back together, and on the inside put in some RoofFix, and it is now completely one piece again. That is how good this
So your
product is.
guttering might have split from piece to piece, and you can virtually stick it together and make it completely waterproof. There's nothing worse than water gushing down the side of your
Yeah,
house
yeah.
and the damage it's then doing to your bricks.
Yeah.
But look how easy it is to apply onto guttering, any type of guttering
Yeah,
as well.
it doesn't have to be PVC, but look at that. You slap it on, it's solved the problem straight away.
Yeah.
And it's not a temporary fix.
I've
That's
got
the
that
great
piece
thing.
there live here in the studio.
We'll show you that. And then again, you can see some befores and afters. So that looks beyond repair.
It
I mean, look
does.
at the state of it. But actually, look at it afterwards.
It actually looks good afterwards.
Yeah.
And it also has stopped the leak.
How
I mean, if you were
amazing
selling
is
your
that?
house, can you
Yes.
imagine what a difference that's made? A real
Absolutely.
quick fix, but with long-term benefits.
Hasn't cost you a fortune. You haven't had to replace that roof. It's RoofFix that did the job. Looks so much tidier, but it actually solves and stops all the leak problems
Now
as well.
remember, you
of
can
black-
use PayPal Pay in 3 if you're paying online and you've got a PayPal account. $21.65 on your first of 3 payments, including your postage. The difference it makes on these surfaces is brilliant, but you don't need to have any skill, do you?
No, in fact, Martin says that somebody who is in the trade, who's skilled, will probably, be too
Try too
precise.
hard.
Yeah, he said, no,
Yeah,
just
you
literally
do.
sit down, slap it
Slap
on,
it
just
on.
slap it on. That's
Now the
it.
details on your screen now for the big bundle. Remember, it's like you get a tin completely free of charge here. Really busy. You've got black, a grey, and you've got a white, but you do need to check your baskets out. You're buying 3 tins. You're getting a tin free of charge. You're saving $59.90 odd. So you're saving a tin. $59.97, and they're normally $59.99.
It's like a tin
So-
free, isn't it? And
Absolutely.
then it works out at £9 a litre.
amazing.
Whereas if you buy the 1 litre tin, you're paying over £22.
Yep.
So back to the examples and the demonstrations. There's still loads more to see.
Yeah, loads more to see. Have a look here. You can see where we took circular saw to this and cut a big old chunk out of this here as well. You can see it's a huge piece out of that. But of course, you can't see through it because you can see, like the picture, because this is it, we put in the RoofFix in there and it bridged that gap. And that's great. Imagine if you did buy the 20 litres and you did do a single garage roof and you had a couple of litres left to the side, then all of a sudden you got a crack in your gut to go, it's okay, I don't mind, I can do this. If it's raining and this is still a bit wet here and you had a rainy day, just come up, just give it a quick dry, pop it on, and even if it started to rain the minute that you finished it, that's absolutely fine. It's watertight, it's waterproof. It's such a clever thing. I love it.
Now we've got loads of demonstrations to show you, just so you know this isn't something you can buy in a DIY store, because I think some people switch on and say, oh, it's that black paint, I bought that.
bitumen paint,
Yeah, bitumen has got waterproofing properties, and that's what a DIY store will say to use, but it hasn't got those Draylon fibres that weave together that stop the leak. That is only in our roofing.
It'll stop the leaks on your roof surfaces, like you can see here, in an instant. So if you've got this this kind of problem, all you've got to do is clear away the surface and then just slap on the roof fix. You can see if you've got felt like this, just put a bit underneath, stick it back down, and then slap the roof fix over the top. Use a squeegee, and it's instantly solved that problem. This is why it's so popular. Now, you've got it in black, in grey, or in white, so depending where you're going to use it. 360407 for the 20 litres. That's 20 square metres of coverage, but you've got a 1 litre or a 5 litre tin available as well. It's not just roofs, though.
It's not all building materials, so guttering as well, whether you've got a bay window that's leaking, perhaps you've got a porch that's leaked for years and years, this will solve that problem. That's why we've got the different colour options. If you've got white guttering, you can go for the white. If you've got a white bay window or conservatory that's leaking, you can go for the white. We've got the grey that's really busy as well. But instantly, you virtually just get rid of the debris. There's no need to dry areas off. You slap it on, and even if it rains straight away, that leak has stopped. And not temporary, and then you get the builders out. This is for 10 years or more. And loads of 5-star reviews. This one says, I got roof fixed to repair my garage roof. It was leaking. I had estimations of £3,500 to repair the roof. I sat on the sofa with my wife. She made me a cup of tea, and I was drinking my tea, and my wife was watching Roof Fix on TV. I asked her what is Roof Fix? And she said, watch and see. I was amazed. That's it. That's what I say to you. Watch and see. Stop talking to me. I'm watching the TV. I was amazed how easy this product was to administer to my garage roof, and to my amazement, it was so easy. Thank you for such a great product, and of course, it solved the problem and saved him £3,500. And there's so many 5-star reviews like that.
For a moment there, during that, I thought it was in an episode of EastEnders or something like that.
Get out of my park.
All right, then. Super.
Now we're going to show you more demonstrations. Don't forget, we have got Black Magic coming up as well, which is the rust converter. That actually virtually makes things look new again, which is brilliant. It's brilliant,
and I've got a couple of great demonstrations to show you there as well.
Right.
But what I'd like to do is, again, I want to come back to what's available readily on the market.
There's your details, by the way, for Black Magic. And there they've gone. We'll show you. Add it to your basket. We want to make sure you split the cost over those 3 payments, PayPal Pay in 3. Right.
I'm going to have to do a missing duck report. I'm sure I had 3.
Oh, you do? I know where it went.
2 there now.
Oh, Hayley's.
He was on the cardboard.
I watched him. I thought.
There you go. There you go.
We visited our ducks today.
Yes.
Did you? Real ducks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Our ducks at our lodge. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Flying. They only like us because we feed them.
Little voice came.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Ellie showing likes me because I feed her. I do all the cooking in the house. Yeah, it's like, I'll keep him. He's all right.
Show us some demonstrations.
I will. So what we did was, again, to show the difference in bitumen and the difference in the roof fix. So what we did was we got these 2 sieves. Now, genuinely, I'm not kidding. I'm going to just move just to show you. Look. So we got some bitumen onto what would you call it, a brush, and brushed it around like that. And what dripped out, well, was most of it and left this. And the little demonstration I show you is that, well, if we're talking about making things waterproof, we didn't exaggerate this or anything like that. This is genuinely what happened. It just runs through it. So what this is saying basically is that if there are little holes, the bitumen runs through. And I demonstrated that a bit earlier to you as well. But look at this. We did the roof fix on this one. And again, a sieve has become
a spoon.
A spoon. Nothing coming through.
Nothing is dripping through that at all.
Nothing at all.
Right.
That's amazing.
So that's the difference, and you can see how good that is.
That's how it solves the leak problem. The leak,
and it's
all the Draylon fibres weave together and stop the leak completely.
Yeah, and let me show you those Draylon fibres because it's really important that you see those as well because these really are, okay, it's not just the Draylon fibres because like when you think of the technology and the science that has to go into making roof fix and the Black Magic, which is coming up, it really is amazing. It's not just a matter of making this black liquid that's going to do it all. It has to be thermoacrylic, so it has to expand and contract. It has to be waterproof. It has to be strong. It has to be all of those things. It has to stick properly. It has to dry properly.
It's that right mixture, isn't it?
Yeah, and listen, it's far before me. They've got very seriously intelligent people who do that stuff. But look at these Draylon fibres. These are the magic basically in this. And as I said, these have to be computer cut. They have to be so precise. If they're not, they do not knit together the correct way. So they weave together inside of the roof fix, and that's what bridges the gap. That is the magic in this, and nobody else has done that.
You can see that in there when you the texture is so different to a regular paint. Honestly, it's amazing.
Do you want to see some cardboard then? I know you love
I
this.
promised you we'd waterproof cardboard and get rid of the holes in a cardboard box, seal those holes. But cardboard's so bad when water touches cardboard,
Dreadful.
it just goes solid.
It collapses,
If
doesn't
you've
it?
got the wine carriers and they get wet, the wine's gone.
Did you ever go outside? I went outside, I had a cardboard box outside and it must have rained or something a bit. So I went to pick up the cardboard box like this with stuff in it and lifted it up. No, that's light. Well, everything was still down there.
Yeah.
But let me just show you this. Now, this is, again, everything we're going to tell you here is absolutely as it happened. So when I started to represent this product, okay, with Martin and the guys, basically, this box here was given to me and it had just had a new layer of bitumen inside. Bought from the shop. This is what it does. Looks good, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. It looks good. But of course, we all know that cardboard can have holes in it. You can already see that this one is a bit tacky. I'm going to have to change this soon. I've only used it for demonstrations 3 or 4 times. But watch why it has the problem and what the issue is with this. So if I get this, and even though the cardboard itself is waterproofed, it doesn't fill any gaps, it doesn't fill any holes, because like the water, the bitumen runs through. Now you can see that water there, that's going to now spread through that. I'm going to have to replace this, and I've only used this for demonstration 3 or 4 times. Unlike, seriously, unlike something that I have to look after with my life,
careful with that,
because I'm in all sorts of trouble. This box, which you can see the old Roof Fix label and the new Roof Fix label on it, okay, which has had a coating of Roof Fix inside. And this here, how long have you known this box?
About 15 years.
Yeah, and that's the truth. This is genuinely the original box. This has been used for donkey's years on ShopOnTV, and Martin brings this to trade shows to show people. The other box, I'm going to have to replace that for 3 or 4 demonstrations. But of course this...
So this was painted about 15 years ago.
Fix.
And look...
And it's watertight.
Completely watertight. It's waterproofed the cardboard and it's sealed the holes in the cardboard box.
But watch this. I'll put all that water in. And you'll see now I have the ducks. And fill that right up.
And actually it shows in exhibitions that it sits full
for days,
all day.
For days, yeah.
Time, yeah.
And that's how good it is.
Point.
And do you remember we said earlier on that it lasts 10 years or more? Well, clearly you know that this has been 15 years on the go, and he's had too much libation. He has imbibed too much. Yeah, actually I like big words now these days. I try to, I know.
Learning.
I bought
learning.
I bought a thesaurus last week.
You did?
It was the worst thesaurus in the world. Not only was it terrible, but it was terrible.
There's the tumbleweed.
That's such a clever joke. That's brilliant.
It's way beyond us, Al, if it's
Tell us about the boat.
Tell us about a cardboard boat. That's what we're interested in. Go on.
David got it.
Go on.
So, right, this here is the HMS Destroyer. So basically, HMS Destroyer there was a competition at a school or in a town, I should say, to make a floating boat of cardboard, and there was many made, and Martin from Flag Paints, his niece, made this boat and covered it with Roof Fix.
She was the winner.
And she got out there and look at
Look
that.
at him sinking in the background.
I don't think she won the race. She got a prize, but I don't think she was good enough to win the race. But I think that's the story.
She was
didn't sink,
which is the most
that's
important.
all that matters.
And that's what it's all about. That is a cardboard boat, but it floated because it's got Roof Fix on it, and that just proves the point. If it can waterproof and seal the gaps in cardboard and waterproof cardboard, honestly, it's got to work on all and everything. And the great thing is, this will work on all building materials.
It will, completely multi-surface when we talk about all those different materials, and that's why we show you it on cardboard, because it shows you, even on cardboard, it waterproofs it. It's Roof Fix. It fixes any leaks in your roof, but it'll also fix all your gutters as well, as you can see there on the right-hand side. Not just PVC, because I thought, oh, PVC gutters, yeah, it'll be great on that, but cast iron, metal, copper, concrete, and then you've got things like your aged bitumen. If someone's already tried to waterproof something, just slap Roof Fix over the top and it will stop those leaks. And and then you go to the other side of the screen and see all the other surfaces. The multi-surface paint that we've got here, exclusive with us here at ShopOnTV.
It is absolutely incredible. When you see in action, it's not anything you've found in a DIY store. It actually seals the leak with the Draylon fibres. So that leak is sealed, and even when the weather changes and our buildings expand and contract again, time and time again, it will expand and contract. And that leak has stopped for up to, well, 10 years or more,
beyond,
so often.
yeah.
So it's not temporary. And of course, we've had such glorious sunshine. Our weather has again made our buildings expand, contract, expand, contract. I bet we've got wet weather coming up.
Yeah.
And that's when that leak will happen. And it's so easy to apply, whether you do it with a brush or with a squeegee.
And this is the application, so simple. You slap it on. If you're doing the edges, obviously you saw in the clip there, edging, but then just use a spreading tool to spread it out. So satisfying, problem solving, and those Draylon fibres knitting together. Now the details on the screen are for 4 5-litre tins. That'll give you 20 square metres of coverage. 360407 is your item number, and you've got 3 colours available. You've got black, you've got white, and you've got grey. But with this bundle, it's like you're getting 1 tin free of charge. Because it's $179.99, $62.31 on your first of 3 PayPal payments if you're paying online with PayPal. So it's like you get 1 tin free.
But it should be £240, so there's a free tin. You're buying 3, getting 1 free, however you want to look at it. Or rather than £59.99 each, they're £45 each. The saving is amazing. And do choose your colour of, perhaps you've got conservatory that's white. The black is always in the lead. The black is always the first one to go. But grey is very busy tonight as well. Now we have got our 5 litre as well. There's your choices, but your best option is, of course, that 4 of the 5 litres. So just to prove the point, you're getting a tin of this free of charge with that bundle, because those tins are, well, on offer at $59.99, normally $69.99. This will cover 5 square metres, so this will be okay, perhaps for a shed, but if you want to do a garage, you want to go for those 4 tins. And this is what it's all about. It stops the leak instantly for 10 years or more. You virtually slap it on, whatever building material it is, whether you use a brush or a squeegee, and instantly, even if it starts raining straight away, the leak's gone. And you don't need to be a DIYer. You don't need to.
No skill required.
No skill required
Even we can
at
do it.
all. Honestly, solved a problem on my mum's sort of lean-to, which we'd paid thousands of pounds on in the past. It was Roof Fix that solved it.
So 811037 for your 5 litre tin. But if you know exactly where the problem is, we also have a 1 litre available for you. Maybe you just want to try it out. The 1 litre tin, brilliant on your guttering. If you've got a problem area in the gutter, you want to go for that 1 litre. And we'll pop the details on in just a second. There we go. 562973, just $22.99. So for guttering, a problem that you know exactly where it is, this is perfect, isn't it?
Absolutely. But if you are thinking you need it for a vast area, if you times that by 5, you're well over £100. Our 5 litre tin, of course, is just $59.99. So the best deal is to go larger every time, even if you've got some spare and you save it for that day you wake up and the leaks in the perhaps it's in your roof, perhaps it's in the garage, perhaps it's in the shed and going all over your brand new lawnmower. Yeah. Honestly, this is a problem solver and has solved people thousands of pounds over all the years that it's been going. And remember, not available in a DIY store.
Now, we're already massively busy on our next item from Flag Paints, the Black Magic. Now, this is a multi-purpose paint that's got a rust converter built into it. Now, we've got 2 different options. We've got a 1 litre, 10% of the stock here is already gone. We haven't even shown you the live demonstrations. 533558 is your item number for your 1 litre of Black Magic. If you're wondering what does it do, Hayley's got a demonstration piece here because it has a rust converter in there. Take away any excess rust and then just slap the paint on.
So if there are any flaky bits, just brush it off and then you paint it on to the rust. Honestly, you don't have to get rid of all of that. You paint it on and it looks brand new again. So it gives everything a new lease of life and it stops that rust from coming back, and we'll explain exactly how this works indoors and out. The busiest always is our larger tin, the 2.5 litre. Now that sells out time and time and time again. Honestly, once you start using this, you'll just want to use it everywhere.
And it's better value for money, that larger tin. 974362, £45. If you want to use PayPal Pay in 3, you can spread the cost interest-free if you pay online with PayPal. So 974362. The application is so easy. You just slap it on, as you can see here. As I was saying earlier, I'm not a DIYer, but even I could use this because it doesn't leave any brush marks behind.
Looks like it was how it was bought.
It's factory finish, isn't it? Every time. This is my favourite bit in this clip. A parasol that you'd probably throw away because it looks like it's had it. Well, with your Black Magic, you can see you can brush away any excess rust and then just slap it on. Martin would always say, Martin from Flag Paints, no skill required. Look at that. It's like it's brand new again, isn't it?
They always say if you're not a painter, it's better because sometimes you spend far too much time on it, whereas you virtually just brush away. Look at the finish, and what it's done, it's converted as well the rust, so it neutralises the rusting reaction. It stops it rusting again. Use it outdoors, but we'll show you how you can use it indoors as well. And once you've used this on one product, you'll think, my goodness, I wonder if it'll work on, so-and-so. And virtually this works on all materials. We'll talk you through what this can work on at home. But remember, this is always so popular. Massively busy. It's really great to have your company, and my goodness, do check your baskets out as soon as you can because Black Magic is incredible, isn't it?
It is fantastic, and again, so many different surfaces. And I've just got a little board here just as a little bit of an idea, and then we're going to talk about things down here. And people will often say, well, tell me the surfaces you can put this onto. And I say, well, I tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you the surfaces it won't go onto. Yeah, that's a shiny metal surface.
All right.
That's the only thing. But actually, we say that to you. We've got a bit of copper here, and that's a shiny metal. It generally wouldn't adhere to it, but you can clearly see that we have indeed put some onto this. Now, what I love about this is it's such a great paint. If you look even here, and this isn't meant as a demonstration, I just spotted this. See where the little crease is? It's so perfectly uniform, covering that it's unreal. So all we did is we got a little bit of sandpaper and sanded it down to give it a key, basically, some parts for it to hold on to.
So even though it doesn't work on shiny metal, if you do that, it will.
Yeah,
fabulous.
so chrome, etc., and things like that, which is great. I've got a brilliant demonstration to show you later on as well, when we get down here with something that was in our garden when we moved. It's Ellie's brother's. It was a fire pit, but it's not anymore. But I'm going to show you how good this is. Thankfully, the 3 ducks are there, so Duckgate is no longer a worry.
Ducks in a row.
Got the ducks in a row there. I hope that Elon Musk never gets into any kind of trouble, because Elon Gate would take forever, wouldn't it?
What time is it?
I know.
A bit early for this.
What is this?
Never too early.
What is this?
What is this? In other words, if
Back
you
on
read between
track.
the lines, John, Alan, shut up with your jokes. Just do the show, will you? So have a look at this.
Carry
Don't
on.
encourage him. Tell us what Black Magic does. The people are waiting at home.
Tell us, Alan.
Like that. We
What's it
haven't
going to be
turned
like
on for the jokes.
What's it going to be like when they let me loose as a presenter in a few weeks?
No idea. We won't be here.
You think
So, come on, tell us.
So MDF, have a look at that. Even the director was getting involved, telling me to shut up there. MDF, have a look at this. So covering that. Again, Black Magic down here, you can see on all types of wood. Again here, you can see the difference of before and after. But if we just look
looks
here.
like this is how it was, though, doesn't it? It doesn't look like it's been painted. It's just such a good finish.
It's a great finish.
And this is great. This is decking.
Yeah, well, the thing about decking is that the reason that it's ridged is to give you a bit of, a bit of grip. And if you look down here, if you use the paint that wasn't, as good as the Black Magic, you can see that it's just a perfect consistency that fills in the gaps in there, but still gives you those ridges and still gives you that grip.
As a regular paint, that'd be completely flat now because it would have filled the holes, whereas the holes are still there.
Fiberglass, plastic, all of those little different areas as well.
Good.
But I want to show you a few things that really I think
I think it's when you see the befores and afters that it really comes to life.
It's so impressive. So when we look at our downpipes or our drainage pipes and stuff like that, if we look at the before and after on this, now remember we mentioned, and you guys said earlier, you get minimal brush marks, you get just the most incredible finish. And again, remember, this is flag paint. paints. 1939 they've been around since. It's way over 80 years. They know what they're doing. They know how to make a paint. And if you look at this side, you can see what it used to look like.
So on a house, that would look amazing, wouldn't it? If you were trying to sell your property and the guttering's all a little bit tatty.
A little bit tired.
That would really bring it to life. Yeah.
And that's the thing, plastics and UPVC like that, it does go, and you see it sometimes, it looks really powdery.
I was just going to say that,
that's
powdery,
what it does,
Yeah, so it'll go on to that and it'll stop it being powdery.
It'll stop going powdery,
Wow.
yeah, absolutely.
Fabulous.
Again, look at this here, minimal brush marks on this again. You will find that it will take on the, if there's little bumps or, scratches in the surface, you put it on, it will take on those and you will see that. But it's such a great finish, as you can see there. It is beautiful, and the difference in that, it looks $1 million compared to that. In fact, it almost makes this look like it was cast iron.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
Now, these are great examples.
This is incredible.
And this is exactly what Alan's been talking about.
Yeah.
Look at the difference.
That's incredible.
Looks
isn't
brand
it?
new,
You could see how powdery it had gone. It had gone really old, and that looks new again, doesn't it? So it really freshens up the outside of your property.
Here's another one for you close up so you can see. It looks old and tired, and then with the black magic, it just brings it back to life.
And you virtually do just slap it on. It dries really quickly. And again, the last one, looking so good when it's been painted.
Yeah. It just brings it up so much better, it really does. Imagine if you were going to sell your house, as you mentioned, and you went and you did your front gate with this. If you had the downpipes and you did this and they were looking a bit tatty, because, we all know as soon as you walk in to see a property, it is that curb appeal, how it looks. And if they look a bit, you think, oh, well, I'm going to have to do those gutters. You're going to have to do... If you walk in and go, don't have to do that. Look at how good this looks. Wow, look at the fence. Look how brilliant everything is. Already you're going in there going, this is great.
And can we have a look at the love chair? Because there's so much detail in the love chair. Because you might be thinking, oh, these are all bigger areas, and so I just slap it on. Have a look at this. Now, that does look like it's beyond repair. You'd never sit on that.
Throwing that out,
Yeah, you'd get a rusty
You're
bottom.
getting rid of it.
Yeah, so
Nobody wants a rusty bottom.
But it was about half an hour. That was the result.
Yeah. Martin, again, this is a friend of Martin's. He was at their house. They popped out. He completely renovated the bench in about 30 minutes.
They just popped down to the shop. They couldn't believe when they got back and saw this result. And there's so much detail on this, but look how it just paints it perfectly. And even though that was so rusty, now it could be, when you see, I mean, look at there. Look at it after.
Throwing it out on you.
And then look at it all. You could walk into a garden centre right now, and there could be a little tag hanging off that, and it could be hundreds of pounds. It looks amazing.
And that's the thing, even if you wanted to sell something like, the exercise bicycles that we'll see in a while, or a bicycle, or anything that you want to sell, there you go. I mean, look at that, that's ready to be chucked out. But now, look at the difference in this. Now, I know that the silver disc wheel was polished up a bit too, but look at the difference. Before it's scrap, but now, that's, even if you got 50 quid for it, or 100 quid for it.
The gym was throwing them out, and they recycled them. So
now
perhaps you like to recycle things and sell them on. It's ideal.
Regular bikes the same. You've got that. It looks like it's had its day, but then if you just paint it with the Black Magic, and just so you know, Black Magic only available on UK mainland delivery. That's your Black Magic if you want to go for that. The other great thing is it's heat resistant, isn't it? 500
degrees Fahrenheit, which, if my calculations are about 260 degrees centigrade. So yes, you can use it on chimneys and things like that, and it will withstand up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit.
Fire surround you could use
absolutely, yeah.
And that looks like, again, throw it out, looks really tatty. Look at it afterwards. Amazing. But use it indoors as well. We've used on the plant pots in the garden. In the garden it's fantastic. You can match all your plant pots. Perhaps you've got different garden furniture. Some's plastic, some's wood. This will go on all those. They'll all match up. They'll all be this fabulous black and keep looking so new. But use indoors as well.
Yeah, door handles, again, looking old, where, you're grabbing it all the time. The colour is gone, the paint is gone from it. Well, use this and look at the difference.
Absolutely amazing, and perhaps the lock and things. But remember, this is what it's all about. It's all about turning something that looks like this
into
to
that.
this.
Completely different.
Just getting away. Well, you don't have to do it. There's not a big work before you paint, is
and
there?
I'm going to show you a really good demonstration in a bit. But with something like this, all you would do is get a wire brush and just brush it to get the loose bits away. Now, here's a big tip for you. See this paint here? This is old paint. If you try to scrub that away and it doesn't move, leave it there. If that's got a good adhesion, leave it there and paint over it.
Whatever colour it is.
Whatever colour it is. Just go
paint
right
over
over,
the top.
paint over it. Just get any loose bits you see, if you can, just break them off. But then once they're gone and you do that, you can just leave it there if it's adhered properly. And that's as simple as that. But look at the difference in that. It's great. Now, I want to tell you about a demonstration that Martin did as well. And this is going back. Remember the story I told you all that we know about the roof fix a bit earlier on, about coming up with something for ShopOnTV, and this is why you only see it here.
I love this
So
story.
he said, okay, I'm gonna wow this buyer, and he went in to have a meeting with them, and he brought in, as Martin says, a pop bottle. And he put the black magic onto it. And this is exactly, well, it's not exactly the one, but this is exactly what he would have brought in, a pop bottle like that. And he said, look, he said it doesn't crack, it doesn't do anything, and it's easy to do, and it's easy to paint it on there, it sticks to plastic, and I'm getting no cracking. And then he showed him a competitor's bottle, and he said, look at this. He said, it cracks already, it falls off, it flakes, and it's not so good. So he said, oh, that's really good. And the original bottle like this that he brought, he picked up and go, oh, I'm going to test this, and went like that. And now you look, I've even done that again, and you can see it popping out. And to this day, this is the same bottle,
covered, isn't it?
still there, and nothing is cracked off of it, and it's still looking just like that. And that is what the buyer did to that about 15 odd years ago, or 20, however long ago it was. And even still, I can do that, and it's still not cracking.
Still doesn't crack.
Now, this is not one I made today. I promise you, this is the original one that the buyer twisted. It was like that. And look at the difference in that. That is just...
Now, can we see some of the wooden things? Because I think these are brilliant. So
Of course,
indoors,
Ellie, of course.
You might have moved into a property and you've got lots of pine and things, and you're not really that keen on the pine. Rather than throw it out, look at this.
Yep.
So this is like one of the pine ends to a rail,
To a
curtain rail.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, sometimes they might look a bit dated. Remember the last time I kind of put my foot in it?
you went a bit far.
I did.
Look
I
at
said,
the
"Look at that."
difference. So we could actually do the pole as well, and would the pole stay looking amazing even though we were drawing the curtain?
Yeah, absolutely, because it's really, really hard wearing as well.
Fantastic.
And look at the difference in that. But let's go a little bit further, because that's wood, obviously. I'll show you these two. So again, drawer handles, the little knobs on the drawer. Well, look at that. Zhuzh them up.
Hey,
Like
that could
that.
be a kitchen unit, couldn't
Kitchen
it?
unit. Units, all that.
It stops them being so dated.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
And
because
now-
it looks so good as well, if you're not great at painting, you never get any brush marks. It looks, it's like a satin finish. It's amazing.
Now this here, to me, it's brass, but I don't like that. But again, check this out. Look at even the brass and the white center part is all taken with black magic.
Brilliant.
And it's stuck to it, and it is given a beautiful finish. But even now we've shown you wood, and we're showing you brass, and we're showing you that kind of enamel in the center there as well. But watch this, okay? You buy some furniture, and if it's not the most expensive furniture, kind of, you know, chairs and stuff for your office, it looks terrible, doesn't it? But look at that. The
That's
difference in that. And by the way,
amazing.
look at the wheel still
So you
turns.
could buy a real cheap looking chair, or
Yep.
perhaps one of those drawer units.
Or if you're upcycling,
And look at-
this is
yeah.
going to be brilliant, isn't
Yeah.
it? Because it's all the materials we've shown you and so much more, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is fab. Again, a lot of people get horseshoes and hang them, but of course horseshoes can go rusty as well. And again, look at that, a little bit of coating on that. But also what it does is it stops the rust going further, because if you don't treat rust. Now, you don't need to prime this, you don't need a primer, you don't need an overcoat after using it. You use just this. And the preparation for the surface is so simple.
Now, we have had an email. So on vehicles, this is
Andrea.
Andrea.
That's
Good
from Andrea.
morning,
Hello,
Andrea. Rusty calipers on cars.
Yeah, people use it on them all the time.
And your bumpers as well. 'cause
Yeah,
it will go
people
on
use
the
it on bumpers,
plastics
yeah,
as
that's
well.
On the well, I got a review here actually.
There's a wheel, look at
previous
that.
shows.
A wheel there.
And that's the same sort
Half's
of thing,
been done,
isn't it?
half hasn't. Look at the difference. That's amazing.
And when it comes to reviews, we've got loads to share with you as well, but this is what it can be applied on. If you want to use it on things like wood, painted metal, rusty metal, because it's got that rust converter, PVC, glass, concrete, hot surfaces, like we say. So if you, because it's heat resistant up to 500 degrees. If you want to make all your garden furniture match up, maybe you've got some wooden pieces and some plastic pieces surfaces, you could match them all up. 974362 for the 2.5 litre, down to £45, £16.65 on your first of 3 interest-free payments. If you want to use PayPal and you pay online, ShopOnTV.co.uk.
And it looks honestly so professional when it's finished. The befores and afters are amazing. This is great, the garden ornament.
Well,
this is great because there's so much detail.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because you were talking about that love seat earlier, and we couldn't get that really close up to it. But look at this here.
So
look at this little, what do they call this again? It's a trivet, isn't it?
It's a trivet,
yeah. But I'm just going to get out of the way so you can see. Look at the detail.
Yeah.
Now, I promise you, this wasn't spent hours and hours doing it. This was, as we say, slapped on, even around the back. It's just the most perfect finish, it really is. And again, I'm just going to show you, actually, Hayley, you remember you painted the half of this. So again, you can see the top half has been done and the bottom, I need to be in front of this one probably. Yeah,
yes.
I do.
Yeah.
There you go, look at that.
And virtually just dabbed it on, it's phenomenal.
Super easy to do.
And then the garden ornament, this is great, because perhaps you've got things you'd like to put outside, but you know they're not going to weather well, which was what this was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's plaster Paris that's made from. And Martin bought a bunch of them in a charity shop.
And he didn't realise he put one out in the garden and it just disintegrated.
It disintegrated with the rain.
But of course painted this one.
Yeah.
And now this is fine outdoors, which is amazing.
Yeah,
so you sort of weatherproofed it, which is
Let me just bring
brilliant.
this one in as well for you, just to show you that little cherub. Again, half of this done. Although to me, he looks a bit evil on this side. But you get the point.
And again, these can go quite nasty outdoors, whereas actually it looks new again. I absolutely love that.
Protected as well.
And it could match all your pots, all your furniture. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Super busy on this. 974362 is your item number. 2.5 litres, and of course this will virtually apply to all and everything. The only thing it doesn't go onto it is shiny metal, but as long as you brush shiny metal down, it will adhere to that as well, and always gives you that professional finish. So £45, this is the size that sells out time and time and time again. And remember, it is a rust converter, so it actually gets rid of the rust. You paint it over. Any flaky bits, make sure you take those off, but then paint over the top, and the finish is absolutely amazing.
You can see you just slap it on. There's no skill required here. It doesn't leave any brush marks behind, which is what I loved about it. I did a balustrade just outside our house, a cast iron balustrade, similar material to what you're looking at here. And you don't need any skill. You don't leave any brush marks. You don't flood the area that you're painting. So 974362 is your item number. Should be £55 for the 2.5 litres. It's down to 45 or 16.65 on your first of 3 payments with PayPal, paying 3 if you're paying online. You can see what this. You would throw it out, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Take away that excess rust and then just slap the paint on.
Looks absolutely new again. It's fantastic and so easy just to apply. Apply it, gives a satin finish, gives you a great look, whether you're using things inside or whether you're using things out. Honestly, it's absolutely amazing. Busy on this. Remember, the larger tin sells out time and time and time again. You have got the 1 litre, £26 there, but actually 20% of both of them are gone. So 533558 is your item number for the 1 litre, £26. However, the 2.5 litre is always the favourite. Better value for money, but once you start with this, you want to paint everything.
You're going to be looking for things to paint. It says metal, plastic, glass, but there's so much more. You can use it on things like timber, MDF, stone, and PVC, and you get that finish, that beautiful finish every single time. If you want to match up all your garden furniture, if you've got wooden garden furniture and metal garden furniture, it'll match it up because it'll have that same factory finish every time. So 974362 gets you the 2.5 litre tin at the reduced price of £45. Gone really busy there now, so if you want to get that, be quick. Now, lots of products on the show. We're going to go back to our Roof Fix. Now, Roof Fix does exactly what it says on the tin. If you've just joined us, well, if you've got any kind of leaks around your home, this is going to stop those leaks in their tracks.
Instantly, and lasts 10 years or more. It's absolutely phenomenal. Now, value for money wise, this is the way to go. We'll start at the very beginning though. We'll start with the 1 litre, and that 1 litre, normally £22.99. You've got it available for you right now, but you do need to know exactly where the leak is. And when we show you how this stops the leak, you'll understand why it's better value for money to go for the 5 litre. Times that by 5 is over £100. but actually the 5 litre is only £59.99. And this is what it does. It stops your leak virtually instantly. As soon as it starts to rain, the leak has stopped.
And you can see, you just slap it on, there's no skill required. Just brush away any excess dirt that you can see there. Got to remind you, it does come in 3 colours. It comes in black, in grey and in white. And your 5 litre tin will give you 5 square metres of coverage. So about the size of an average shed roof you're talking about with that one. There you can see your 3 colours, your white, your grey and your black options. And if you want to use PayPal Pay in 3, pay online, you can spread the cost across 3 payments, £21.65 on your first of 3 payments, 811037. But back to the Best Buy, the big bundle. If you have got a garage roof that you want to finish off, this is brilliant. And the reason it's brilliant is the value. It's like you're getting a tin free, isn't it?
It adds up to, if you were buying them at £59.99, £239.99 or 96, you're saving virtually £60. So you get a tin completely free of charge. We'll show you as well how it stops that leak virtually instantly. This is how you apply it so quickly, so easily, and that all you need is to slap this on. There's no skill involved. Honestly, it stops that leak as soon as you've applied it. If it rains straight away, that leak has gone. And that leak happens because our weather changes, our buildings expand and contract, and they create those cracks that we see down the wall, the cracks in our ceilings. And that leak could be the garage roof, could be the bay window, could be the conservatory roof. It's absolutely phenomenal how you virtually just slap it on with a squeegee or a brush, and you've solved a problem that perhaps you've lived with for years.
And it looks really great when you've finished it as well. So 3 colours once more, black, grey or white. If you want to go for this, the 4 5 litres is the Best Buy of all, and £62.31 on your first of 3 interest-free payments. It is multi-surface, so think about all those different areas that you will use it, whether it's wood, OSB, galvanised metal, it could be fiberglass or composite plastics, and then all your different kinds of guttering as well. But look at the finish. It finishes the surface beautifully, but it does a great job. It stops those leaks in their tracks. And we've got reviews here where people have saved £3,500 because they haven't had a new roof. They've used Roof Fix to solve that problem for them.
And it waterproofs any building material. So if you're putting it onto different building materials, it waterproofs them instantly, as quickly as this. So the leak is happening. You don't really know where is the gap. Actually, we can sort of see it there. I'll slap it on in that area. But to cover that whole roof, in case you don't know where that gap is. But look how quickly and easily it is to apply it. You virtually slap it on. Now that leak has gone, and that leak has gone for up to 10 years or so often more. And honestly, this is a product you can't buy from a DIY store. This isn't bitumen. So if you've been to a DIY store, they've given you a black paint. It's not Roof Fix. This is very much a TV exclusive. It's very much a trade paint. Roof Fix is made by Flag Paints, and they provide to Ministry of Defence, London Underground. So this is a trade paint that they've developed for us to use at home. So quickly, so easily, but instant results.
So black, grey or white are your options. That is your Best Buy bundle, 360407, giving you 20 square metres of coverage, and it is literally like having a tin free of charge. If you are shopping for these, let's take a look at some of the befores and afters, some of the surfaces that you can use this on, and the difference it's going to make when we talk about it fixing those leaks. It looks great as well on all these different surfaces. And while we look at these pictures, we'll share with you a couple of reviews that we've had in the past on shows. People who've saved fortunes on their roofs because they haven't had to replace them. They've just used Roof Fix.
Whether it's flat roofs, flashing, porches, guttering, PVC, garage roof, roofing panels, sheds, conservatory, greenhouse. This guy said, I got a Roof Fix to repair my garage roof as it was leaking. And I'd had estimates of £3,500 to repair it. I sat on the sofa with my wife. She made me a cup of tea. I was drinking my tea and my wife was watching Roof Fix. I asked her, what is Roof Fix? And she said, watch and see. I was amazed to see this product. It was so easy to administer to my garage. And to my amazement, my goodness, again, the results were phenomenal. What a great product, he said. And when you look at just the headlines of the 5-star reviews, fantastic product, does what it says on the tin. Very good, super sealant, great product, brilliant, easy to use, great item, the perfect product because it does just what I needed. Really pleased. The best of the best, capital letters. Excellent product, very good, easy to use. This paint is brilliant, exceptional product. People love, there's so many 5-star reviews. And another money saving one, this product saved me £1,880 on a new roof. My extension was found to be leaking very badly and I called out a roofer to tell me how much it would cost to put it right. When he told me, I could have fainted. He said the whole roof had had its time. He said, I saw the offer on TV for Roof Fix. I ordered some. It was easy to administer and hey presto, it worked. And that's a happy customer who saved £1,880. Another customer, £3,500. And that's what this product is all about, solving the problem yourself, but not temporarily.
No, it's going to have those long-term benefits, 10 years and beyond sometimes. So the best buy is on the screen for the 4 5-litre tins. Alan's here with us to tell us all about it. For ages he was trying to get on this product. And here he is.
And we never stole products from each other all those years ago.
It's like a pleasure to sell, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And I don't think, you know, I don't think you even have to sell it because it's such a great product. It does it itself, doesn't it? It's just the most amazing thing.
Show us the difference, because I think a lot of people at home will be watching thinking, it's that bitumen. We bought that from the DIY store.
Yeah.
Didn't work for us. It didn't stop the leak. But it's not bitumen, is it?
No, it's
you
not
can't
bitumen.
Get it in a
it's completely
DIY
different.
store.
And now that I turn around here, I go, oh, I forgot to get 2 of the little funnels, which are over there. But that's fine. David will get those for us.
We'll get those.
We'll get 2 of those.
You can show us on here. Give us a few ideas how it works.
Let me talk to you about this, okay? Because the difference with this over anything else is these Drail-on fibres that are inside of this. And I want to show you those Drail-on fibres just here. And these genuinely have to be computer, the machine that cuts these has to be computer run. They have to be so precise. They have to be cut at the very same size, the very same length. If they don't, it's been proven and they know that they don't stitch together the same at all. So they have to be so perfect down to millionths of a metre.
And it's them that weave together and solve the leak, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Now, by the magic of television, we have 2 of these. I looked and I went, oh yeah, I forgot those, didn't I? Silly old me. But what I've got here is we've got 2 of these. I'm going to show you the difference basically in bitumen. Now, again, please don't think, and we always say this, and I love to say this, I'm not saying that bitumen is no good. It is. It does have waterproofing properties, and I'm not going to take that away from it. But what I'm saying is it doesn't do what Roof Fix does. And to show you that, I'm going to use these tiny little funnels just here, okay? And you can see how tiny the end of it is, the little hole in the end. And I'm going to pop in here, put these in here just so you can see, and I put a bit of paper there so you can see what's actually happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some bitumen. This has not been watered down or anything. This is how it was bought in the shops, and this is exactly how you would get it and use it. And I'm going to just put a little bit into the small little funnel here just to show you what it does. Now remember, where it does stick, it does make waterproof. Right. It has got waterproofing properties. But watch this, okay? Because as soon as we put it in, it immediately runs through. So even though it's making where it's touching and when it dries, it waterproof, unfortunately, it is not bridging the gap.
So the hole's still going to be there.
The hole is still there.
The leak's still going to be there.
Exactly. But this is where the difference comes in with the Roof Fix.
And you can see the difference. The texture's completely different.
Yeah, completely different. Yeah, completely different. In fact, let me show you that. Just look at the can you see on opening? You can see those little fibres, those Drail-on fibres knitting together, holding that. But let me show you how it actually works and looks. Okay, so I'm going to get the very same paintbrush, and I'm just going to stir this up and grab some. Now, immediately you can see that this is a different kettle of fish altogether. And as I struggle for that even to go into there, I'll put loads in, and you can see even if I'm pushing it, It doesn't come
That's
through.
amazing, isn't it?
Doesn't run through. It
Just
holds.
stops, doesn't it? Yeah.
And that's the thing.
So that
it just
sealed the
stops
hole. It stopped the leak.
Yeah, it completely. And it does it immediately. And regardless, you know, even if it rains immediately, you know, after you do, let's say this piece of guttering just here that had that slice in it, that hole just here, the minute that you put the roof fix onto this here, and you can see it on the inside, it is immediately waterproof. You don't have to wait, you know, an hour, 5 hours, 10 minutes even. It's immediately waterproof.
And we saw that in those clips. As soon as you've applied it, that area is waterproof. And even if it does rain, after you've applied it, it's instantly waterproof.
Instantly, yeah.
So when we're applying it, we don't need to tidy up the area or completely dry everything. Just get rid of the debris.
Just get rid of the loose debris and just wipe it away with a cloth and just, again, we always
already solved.
Slap it on and it solves it straight away. It really is an ingenious product, and it's thermoacrylic as well, so it actually moves and expands and contracts with whatever type of material that it's actually on. So whether it's brickwork or tiles or anything, they all contract and expand at
And we
different
can see
things.
that here, can't we?
Yeah, let's show you
which
this.
gives you an idea, because you might think, well, will it work on your bay window, conservatory roof, anything like that?
And you've got 3 colours to match it up, as well, which is really nice.
Yeah, white, the grey and the black, of course. What I'm showing you here is I was using the black one, just so it stands out a bit more, I guess, and you can see it. But just first of all, have a look at what we've done here. We got this pipe just here, this guttering, and we got a circular saw, and we cut right through that across here. You can see where we didn't do anything, and then you can see there, as my fingers go in and out, you can see where we put a little bit of bitumen just here, and you can see you see that, look?
Yeah.
And then where we have the roof fix, it's completely sealed it. Again, with those fibres, those Draylon fibres knitting together. Now, I showed you earlier as well, and I'll show you the roof in a second, the little mock-up roof I made, but the felt. But look at this felt where we tore this, and then we put it side by side, and you can see the big gap. You can see again here where the bitumen is, it hasn't covered that hole. There is still leaking just here. But of course, roof fix, absolutely perfect, covered.
Yeah.
It's now watertight.
Fills
Again,
the gap completely, doesn't it?
crack in the tile. Now this really shows it, I think, doesn't it? Crack in the tile. You can still see that crack in the tile just here with the bitumen, but of course with the roof fix, you can see it's gone
I think
again.
it's amazing
flashing.
it works on a tile. It really proves that it works on any building material at all.
Yeah. Again, flashing MDF, you have regular timber.
And the flashing, you often use that, don't you, to connect like a sort of a outer building or an extension or something like that.
Absolutely. And you would go up on that as well and over the top. So where this would be coming up to the wall and then coming down onto your roof.
And it would work on all the materials.
On all of them. And come up and just go a little inch over the top of the flashing even, just to make sure that there's nothing getting in behind.
Yeah.
Because quite frankly, maybe I don't know what the quality of the flashing is that you put up there, but at least you know if you have that coating of the roof fix, you know that you're covered. For how long?
Well, 10 years or more. I mean, not temporarily.
It's not
10
temporary.
10 years or more. So this is how easy it is to apply. Now, you've got the leak, you've got the problem. So this is all you do. Tidy up the area, it doesn't have to be bone dry, and then virtually just slap it on, whether you use a brush or whether you use a squeegee, and it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to apply, but it's the fact that you've solved that problem.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason, by the way, in case you're wondering, why did Martin put some underneath the slit? Well, what he did is just lifted that to put a little bit underneath, so then when he pushed it down, it adhered to the roof.
Perfect.
And then he was able to put that over when it's nice and flat. But look at that for a great job. And we did something similar to that at the beginning of the show. And unfortunately, we can only do it the once. But look at, I tore just here a big hole. We saw a big hole in this, and I poured it on, and I just went with a squeegee over that. Really, it's not very neat and tidy, but you can see just how that covering is. And that big hole that was just there is completely gone.
Now, Paul, our director, made a really great point earlier when he did this.
Wow, that's something new.
He does them all the time, and you'll learn that as you go along. Now, with bitumen, because when you poured on the roof fix, I was a bit like, oh, is it going to run off the end? But it holds, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
with
does.
Bitumen, it would have just.
It would have just, because it's so thin, it would have done what it did in the little funnel, just ran through.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, you can slap this on.
It's those
so
Draylon fibres that
weave
weave together.
The thickness of it, everything about it, just
clever.
pour it on and then just do it. And I did see actually when I poured it on, I looked at, I could see you're like, well, but it's so easy. And it just, then it held and then I just spread it around. And it's fab. It's so good. You can see that. Look, it just ran straight out.
And there's
of course
the comparison,
here, the comparison, it's just still sitting there. And look at how much is in it. and it hasn't even went down through that. So that's the difference with
So that's bitumen against our roof
Roof
fix,
Fix.
because bitumen is what you'll get from a DIY store. It has waterproofing properties,
Yes,
but it doesn't seal a leak. What Roof Fix does, and it is very much a TV exclusive, this is a trade paint, this will actually stop the leak, and it stops the leak for 10 years or more,
And
which is
beyond
amazing.
sometimes, yeah. When you talk about application,
yes,
this is the other thing to know, that it's really easy to work with.
yeah, super easy to do. You've got to just get rid of the loose material, so stones and debris and stuff like that. But again, you don't have to spend ages and ages doing it. Just get rid of it as the best you can. And once it's all gone, then you can start applying. And you can see here with those little edges that Martin is doing first and foremostly, just get those bits done, the more intricate areas. And then once you've done that, and you can see here, look it right up onto the wall again, you can then start to spread it. If you have got a tear or a rip, maybe you might say, well, I'm going to, paint on first to make sure I cover that, and then just slap it on. Remember, the key to this is 1 litre is the coverage for 1 square metre. And once you have that in your mind, you're good to go. If you want to pour out the full tin like this, 5 litres, mark with a piece of chalk on the roof a 5 square metre area.
That's a good idea.
And just pull it across it. Just draw it across like that. And you've got ages. You don't have to do it within 5 minutes. You're not under pressure. You will have quite a long time to do it. After about 16 hours, it's dry to the touch. 3 or 4 days later, if you need to reapply, which is very, very unlikely, then you can do that after 3 or 4 days. But just look at that finish. And it doesn't matter how much water runs down onto that, it is protecting it for up to 10, well, I'd say up to 10 years, 10 years or more.
Yeah, and that can be in a black, a grey or a white. So it doesn't have to be a garage roof or a shed roof. It could be a conservatory window. It could be a bay window. It could be the conservatory roof, a greenhouse roof. Honestly, wherever you've got a leak, this is going to solve that problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said earlier on in the show, and if you've just joined us, myself and my wife Ellie had Pizzanini, and it was a horse box that we bought, a horse trailer, and then we had it converted, and the roof was a single skin roof, so it was really thin, and where the rivets were going through, where they were joined together as it went down, it just leaked when it rained. We used to have a little drip, 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 and of course you couldn't have that because we're working with flour and dough and food.
Yeah, food.
You can't have that. So of course, what did I do to rectify that? I got Roof Fix and I put it up on top of it. I literally poured it on and just got brilliant, and it was fixed and it's done. Still on there to this day.
It's still being used.
Well,
now,
it's going to be good for 10 years or more, isn't
Yeah.
it? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And it's the fact that it works on any building materials. So any building materials, any of your gutterings, whether it's wood or OSB or whether it's galvanised steel, honestly, whatever you've got, it will work on. We will actually show you how we've waterproofed and sealed the leaks in cardboard. And I know that's not a building material, but cardboard's horrendous when it's wet.
It just shows you the extremes of this product, doesn't it?
It's absolutely amazing. And you've got some great demonstrations that really compare, because I think lots of you think, well, hang on, I've seen this. I've seen that black paint. I got it from a DIY store. Bitumen, they called it then. And it didn't work. This isn't bitumen, is it?
No, absolutely not. This is not a tar. It's not bitumen. This is simply Roof Fix.
And it fixes your roofs. Now,
does.
there's lots of different configurations available. You can get 20 litres, you can get 5 litres, or we do have a 1 litre tin available. I know Dave emailed in, so hi Dave, we'll pop the 1 litre, how easy it is to find it. So if you go to the web, shopontv.co.uk, there's the 1 litre tin. It's a brilliant price. We'll show you how to find it. Go to the latest show products, click on there, and it'll take you through to our live show, and then all the live products are there as well. So there's your 1 litre tin. Just choose which option you want to go for, black, grey or white. There you go, Dave. That's simple. So if you want to go for that, it's down to £22.99.
And that covers 1 square metre. So if you know exactly where that leak is, that's, go for that. However, your saving is if you go larger, and if you want to cover a bigger area, like perhaps a shed, if you times that by 5, that's well over £100. But actually for the 5 litre tin, should be £69.99. It's £59.99, and this will cover 5 square metres. So that is like a small shed.
Yeah, 811037 is your item number, and because you're spending over £30, I would go for the 5 litre, because then you can spread the cost, better value, £21.65 on your first of 3 payments. This is how easy it is to use. slap it on. As Alan said in this clip, Martin puts a little bit underneath so it'll stick down and then go right over the top. Instant fix when it comes to your roof leaking, and it'll last for years and years, sometimes 10 years and beyond.
10 years or beyond, it's crazy, isn't it? You could save thousands of pounds. But actually the best option is our big bundle, the 4-5 litres, because that tallies up. If you bought them all at £59.99, which is our offer price, they would be virtually £240. You're saving £60 on this bundle. So you're actually getting a tin free of charge.
Free tin, yeah.
So it's like you're paying for 3 and you're getting 1 free. You're virtually saving 60 whole pounds, and that is 1 tin that you're getting free of charge. And that will cover a garage roof, and you'll have spare as well. And it's best to have spare, because you'll kick yourself when that leak does happen, when the rain comes after all this sunshine. Because it is our buildings moving with the weather that actually creates the gaps.
Yeah, the gaps and the cracks, thermoacrylic, or it could be something that, you know, kids messing around, chucking a rock up that hits your roof and damages it, whatever it might be.
My mum lives next door to a spinney, to a wood, so the roots create loads of movement.
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, they do, because they're super strong. But the thing about this is that it's thermoacrylic, so it will expand and contract, you know, and it doesn't matter whether it's cold weather, hot weather, it is literally almost alive, and it does expand and contract with everything. Get rid of the loose stuff, and then put this on, slap it on. I was just thinking when I looked at that 1 litre tin that you mentioned a second ago, and you mentioned that, you know, it'll cover a square metre. And I was thinking, if you did have on this roof here, let's say, you had an area that was leaking and you knew where that leak was, for 23 quid you could have it fixed. I mean, to call somebody out to look at something,
way more than that.
It's crazy, isn't it? You know, and everything is getting expensive now. I asked for my car to be brought in the other day. It had a little fault, and said, yeah, it'll be £289 for us to diagnose it, just to look. I said, but I know what's wrong with it. And said, no, we still have to plug it in. And I'm like, are you joking? Called somebody out to fix something. We had a little problem before in the little brunch box we have, just with the refrigerator, and we asked them, and it was £184 just to come out. What do you know, roofers and all of these people, do they charge to come out? Well, more than likely they do. Go and do it yourself. Fix it.
It's easy, that's the thing.
The thing is, you could actually, you know, employ them and say, will you fix my roof? They can give you the price. They could actually turn up and use Roof Fix, because it is a trade product.
It is a trade
so you'd really kick yourself and think, I could have applied that. I could have done that myself. And honestly, it's so easy to apply. I did it on Mum's sort of lean-to, and it's the only thing that worked. And she'd had it replaced, and it still leaked. It was how it connected to the property, really. And now it doesn't leak, which is absolutely phenomenal. But show us the difference, if you would, between bitumen and Roof Fix.
We showed you the bitumen earlier running through the little funnel that we had. But what we did, and this is absolutely true, it was a good few years ago, Martin decided, he's really inventive when it comes to thinking of ways to show things, but it's all about fixing a leak. Now, what leaks more than anything else in the world? Well, a sieve, of course. You know,
there's a few holes in it.
There's a few holes in it. And what we did was we got 2 sieves, and on the same day, we did what I did a minute ago, dipped the brush into bitumen and painted the inside around, and we didn't scrimp and scrape, we painted it. And the majority of it ran through just like you saw a few minutes ago with that funnel. But if you look at this here, it's still a sieve, isn't it? But you can see where it kind of caught in some areas, and on the inside it has indeed darkened it, as you can see. But that was a sieve. We genuinely put as much as we had good coating of it on, and unfortunately it's still a sieve.
Still a sieve.
Now, you're not going to be fixing sieves, I understand that.
No,
but
that's
the thing is,
holes. Sometimes a leak can be a tiny hole.
Tiniest of
holes. Cause a lot of problems.
And it's finding that hole, isn't it?
Absolutely. It
so
really is.
You wanted to fix those holes.
Yep. Now look at this. We put this in here, and again, this is just, we dipped the brush into the Roof Fix, and we poured it into the very same type of sieve. And of course now, instead of it being a sieve, it's a spoon. It's a spoon. It's a spoon.
I love that.
Yeah, and you can see that. Now, one of the things, again, to show, actually, I've got a little thing I forgot to show you a bit earlier on. And by the way, if you are interested in the black magic, I never got to that awesome demonstration down there,
yeah, we will
which
too.
will be, I promise you,
show
it's
it
worth
in the
waiting for if you're thinking I need something like that. So I want to show you on this piece of card, we just put some roof fix and some bitumen onto it. Just again, you can see this here. There's no lift on this. It's the same. It's flat. But look at this here with the roof fix. You can see how proud it sits.
Textured, isn't
and the
it?
texture of
That's
it.
the Draylon fibres that weave together and
Yeah.
stop the leak.
Stopping the leak. It's
So though
brilliant.
bitumen has got waterproofing properties, there's no Draylon fibres that
Yep.
weave in together. You can virtually see them, can't you?
You can.
If there was a gap underneath, that actual leak has gone instantly,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
It's fab. Now, I love this demonstration so much because, and just in case if you've been with us, please forgive me because I'm going to tell you the same story. You're going to tell me the same story again. But for people who just joined, I love this. So when Martin from Flag Paint asked me, would I be, he said, would you be kind enough to demonstrate it?
Flag paint is Martin's
Yes,
company.
please.
Yes, please. I drove to Essex up to his house to say, he's brilliant talent, come and see me. So he gave me this cardboard box, which of course is very
Trusted you. with
very
these
Yes.
well, yeah,
boxes.
but not so waterproof at all, cardboard. But he said to me, look, Alan, let me be frank. And now I knew about this product because I've known this years, and I was always jealous of Peter when he was doing it. But bitumen has waterproofing properties, and where this is here, it has made this waterproof. But you remember we said it doesn't fill gaps and holes. Well, watch this. This shows you the problem with it, and you can see this is bitumen. This has been used about 4 or 5 times for demonstrations, and already I'm going to have to change it because that water flowing through there the gap hasn't been filled, and already you can see this box is pretty wrecked. Now, even though it didn't come through here because this has waterproofing properties, it didn't seal the holes at the end. But now let's flip this over. Remember, this is only about a month or 6 weeks old, used a few times. And now let me introduce you to this box here, which is about 15 years old or more.
And it is. We've known this box for like 15 years.
You can see the old and the new roof
yeah,
fix just
yeah.
here because it's been used for so long. This has been used on TV for a long time. The same box, the original one. And Martin uses it at trade shows as well. We have coated the inside, and you might say, if we even look, well, that's thicker, but yeah, that's the whole point. This is a much better product. It's thicker, it's got those Draylon fibre reinforcements in it. And now, when I get this and I pour it in, there is no leaks. Now, I promise you, we haven't done any trickery here. It is literally just roof fix that has done that. And let me just show you something, okay? I'm just going to move these a little bit here, okay? Just to show you, I'm going to put this water that was came through the other one in there. And again, Martin would fill this with water at the beginning of a show, of a kind of one of those shows that he would go off to for a week or so, and just leave that water sitting in
Go
there.
on the counter, wouldn't it, for the whole week or
for the whole
5
week,
days,
yeah.
or however long the show is, and wouldn't leak. I mean, that is phenomenal. That's a cardboard box that not only has been waterproofed, but the holes, that are in a cardboard box have been completely sealed,
Completely
which is
sealed
amazing.
with those
And
Draylon
remember, when
fibres.
you see the clip on that roof, that's what it does. It stops the leak, and it stops it instantly, and it stops it actually not just straight away for 10 years or more, which is phenomenal.
It is that instant fix, but it just lasts and lasts. Now, Alan was saying, in this clip, Alan, you said Martin puts a bit underneath,
Yeah,
doesn't he?
yeah, just so it'll press down and it will stick there. You don't have to do that, I promise you. You can just put it straight over. Martin just decided on that, just to put a little bit underneath it, so when those flaps got pushed down, it just adhered to that. And it's just an extra bit of precaution. Not necessary, because this is going to last for 10 years or more. And job done.
It's a brilliant price on the 20 square metres of coverage. You get 4 5-litre tins, but it's not just for roofs. This is why it's worth going for that big bundle, isn't it?
Completely. I mean, look at this here. You know, you've got that guttering that had split. Now, I know that one we cut it just to show you, but it could have had a split. It could have cracked. It could have just, in the heat expanded and contracted and just got a big crack down it. You can use it and it fixes it immediately. And the brilliant thing is, it doesn't matter, even if it's a wet day. You go out there, just quickly dry that off, slap on a little bit of roof fix, and it's fixed and it's waterproofed immediately, even though it takes about 15 hours for it to be dry to the touch.
Oh, but
It's still waterproof
Still working.
immediately.
So even if you've applied it, you come down the ladder, it rains, it's
waterproof.
working.
Yeah, it's working.
And you see that with those clips. They actually put the water on instantly. They filmed it really very much at that rate, and instantly it's waterproof, which
Absolutely.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
Had an email from Sue. She was saying she's got a 5-litre tin about 9 months ago to waterproof her porch. You know, talking about different areas to waterproof. She said she couldn't get anyone to get up there for a while, but a neighbour offered to do it for her last week. So thank you, neighbour.
Well done.
And he's done a couple of coats, and she says she's waiting for the rain now. It looks great, but she can't wait for the rain to come to prove the point. Roof Fix works, which is fantastic.
When I did my roof on the pizza van, I couldn't wait for the rain. I got out there with my got the hose out with the showers going like that. Hey, and I said, anything coming through? And she's going, no, it's not going through. Brilliant. No. I got up there and I spread it really hard, and I was like, and I got anything now? No, nothing at all. Brilliant.
Yeah. You'll be desperate for the rain, and we don't normally want rain,
No,
do we?
we normally
but you
don't
want to
want the
see
rain.
exactly how good this is, and that's what it's all about, solving a problem that could cost a fortune.
Waterproofing cardboard, talk about extreme.
Yeah, that is extreme.
We've got some pictures to show you as well, because when it comes to waterproofing cardboard, it was Martin's niece, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Martin's the owner of the company of Flag Paints, and his niece, so in a competition, they had to make a cardboard boat. Now, we all know cardboard will sink, and a few people did sink.
Yes.
But, of course, they had a top tip. They used Roof Fix on their cardboard boat. You see a few sinking at the back, and they didn't sink. They actually floated, and it looked fabulous. So not only did it look amazing, it waterproofed cardboard. Now, remember, price-wise, you've got different size options. You've got a litre, a 5-litre, and 4 5-litre tins. All depends what area you want to cover. 1 litre will cover 1 square metre. The 5-litre will cover 5 square metres, so that's like a shed. And then you have got the 4 5 litres, which will do like a garage roof. But if you can waterproof cardboard, believe us and trust us, this will waterproof any building material. So wherever that leak is, conservatory, greenhouse, bay window,
lean-tos, all of those.
even if you've got like this over the car, what do they call it?
Carport.
Cardboard.
That's the word.
You know what, even, right, is that UV rays are very damaging. Here you go. Here's a list now of what you can, because again, it's just so it's so long, that list, you can see. But if you do have a carport, of course, it's UV rays that damage things. So these do get damaged themselves, and they can start to crack. Or even if you want to give your car a bit more shade, because, you know, when in the summertime with the sun rays going through a roof like this, you know, can get into your car, and your car can, you know, become quite hot as well. But if you wanted to protect that, you could as well, because if you put this on, it's going to block the sun coming through.
Idea,
you know, so it's giving your car shade.
And if you wanted to do it in white to keep the sun out even more,
yeah,
the white colour,
and
white, black or
match
grey.
your white windows, so if you wanted it to look the same, So that's such a good idea. And look how flexible it is. And this is why your Roof Fix lasts 10 years or more, because our buildings move because of the weather. They contract, they expand, they contract, they expand, the cold, the wet, the dry. And you know that's after a hot spell, which we're having now, the heavens can open and suddenly you've got a leak. Where did it come from? Because our buildings are moving all the time, aren't they?
And again, if we look at, you know, if we use this little prop that we have just here, so, you know, you very may well have, you know, a little bit of, you know, a tile, and then you may even use a bit of flashing here to come, you know, from the tile up to the roof or something like that, or to cover it, you know, and you may get gaps. You don't know what you're going to get. But this here will expand or contract with the heat and the cold at a different rate than this, or at a different rate than the wood that's underneath it, because you would make a roof, even if you did make a roof with some wood and then put felt over it, well, again, that wood is going to expand and contract. So is the felt, different times, different amounts, you could end up getting it unsticking from underneath and causing you problems, tearing. But of course, with the Roof Fix over the top, it doesn't matter what's happening underneath, because that Roof Fix thermoacrylic will expand and contract to match every surface it's on.
And can you show us again, just in your tins, if you would, the difference between, so I know lots of you will be thinking, hang on, I've bought this, bought it from a DIY store.
Seen that black paint
It wasn't
before.
called that, it was called something like bitumen.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is not what you're buying today. This is from Flag Paints. It's a trade paint. It's very much a TV exclusive. It's used by the Ministry of Defence.
Yeah.
It's used as well by the London Underground, one of the biggest antique places
centres in Europe. Yeah, they used it on their roof because they wanted a waterproof. Obviously, thousands and thousands of pounds worth of goods in there, probably hundreds of £1,000s worth of goods in there. So they used Roof Fix, and then they called Martin a few years down the line, and he was like, "What's happened?" He said, "Oh, we've moved. We want to use it on our new roof to make sure it's just right." So this is bitumen.
This is bitumen here.
This is what we'll get from the DIY stores.
And you can see that there's not much of it getting onto the brush, but the minute you do, you can see how runny that is.
It's like a gloss paint, really.
Yeah, pretty much that's what it's like.
Waterproofing properties.
Of course it does, yeah, and that's what bitumen does. But it doesn't seal the leak in the same way at all. It doesn't work at all in the same way as Roof Fix. It's not that. And the reason that we can say that confidently is that if you do happen to go to the store or something like that, to the DIY store, hardware store, and say, look, I've got a leaky roof, they will indeed say to you and give you bitumen, which is fine. But now look at the difference in this. Can you see that? Look. Can you see the difference?
There's the Draylon fibres that we keep talking about.
Very different.
Together.
I can, you know, it's barely running off that. Even look at that long strand.
And it's not really a paint, is it? It's acrylic resin. What does that mean?
Yeah, but basically it's a thermal resin as well. So the paint has special properties inside of it that literally, it doesn't matter what the weather is, what the heat or temperature or cold is. It literally, it's almost like it's alive, almost, I'd say, because it almost breathes. And in the heat it will soften, in the cold it will harden, but it doesn't matter. It's able to move with everything. That's the whole thing.
So busy. You do need to check your baskets out, and all options really busy.
Yeah, you've got 1 litre, a 5 litre, and then you've got a 20 litre option, all available for you. Stopping that problem in its tracks. That's the great thing about Roof Fix. It does exactly what it says on the tin. And when it comes to application, this is really simple as well, really straightforward. Just get away all the excess debris that you can see there, and then you're ready to apply. But you don't need any skill with this. You literally just take it out of the tin and you slap it on.
And you fix the leak. You fix the leak instantly, but it lasts for 10 years or more. The 5-star reviews, fantastic product, does what it says on the tin, very good, super sealant, great product, brilliant, it's so easy to use, great item. This was perfect for what I needed. Really pleased, the best of the best, someone said in capital letters. Excellent product, very good, easy to use. This paint is brilliant, exceptional product. People have saved a fortune. This product saved me £1,880 on a new roof. My extension had been found to be leaking really badly, and I called out the roofer to tell me how much it would cost to put it right. When he told me, I could have fainted. He said the whole roof has had its time. I saw the offer for Roof Fix on TV, ordered some. It was so easy to administer, and hey presto, it worked, saving him £1,880. Another 5-star review. I got Roof Fix to repair my garage roof as it was leaking. I had estimates of £3,500 to repair it. I sat on the sofa. My wife was having a cup of tea, and I was drinking my tea, and she was watching Roof Fix on television. I said, what is this? And she said, watch and see. I was amazed at how good this product was, how easy it was to administer to my garage roof. And again, it worked, saving £3,500. That's what this is all about.
That is just like us, that review. Watch and see.
That's it. When you're trying to watch something and they're asking you questions.
Just watch
it. No, just watch it and get it home and use it. It is phenomenal. Now, you have got different sizes.
Yeah. And
the more you buy, the bigger saving.
Yeah, it certainly is. But let's show you the different sizes that are available. First of all, you've got a 1 litre tin. Now, they're all available in 3 different colours, black, grey or white. We're showing you here that instant fix, but 1 litre gives you 1 square metre of coverage. So 562973, put a little bit underneath if it's felt like that, just to seal it down, and then just slap it on. If you know exactly where your leak is, the 1 litre is going to work for you. Black, grey or white, 562973 is your item number there. Next step, you want to save more money, go for the 5 litre. We had Sue get in touch a little bit earlier, and Sue was telling us about the 5 litre tin. She got, did she say for a porch?
Porch
is that what
it was, I'm
for?
sure, yeah.
So 811037, 5 square metres of coverage, black, grey or white are your options. Remember, it's not just for roofs, it's also for gutters as well. So if you've got any problems with any of your guttering, it's going to be brilliant here as well.
It is, any of your guttering, whatever it's made of. All you need to do is get rid of the debris. You don't have to make that guttering dry. You virtually slap it on, paint it on, and it's instantly waterproof. That's it. As if it rains straight away, that water isn't gushing down the side of your house. Your guttering isn't damaged anymore. It has solved the problem, not temporarily, for 10 years or more. But can I honestly say the best value for money is actually the 5 litres, and the 5 litres is 4 of those tins at £59.99. Well, actually they're normally £69.99, but they're on offer. That makes £240 practically. You're saving £60, so you're getting a whole tin completely free of charge in this bundle. And because you can split the cost with PayPal Pay in 3 as well, it makes it so affordable to go for that bundle.
62.31 on your first of 3 interest-free payments. 360407. Remember, colour-wise, with all of your options, you've got 3 different colours to choose from. So you can go for the white, the grey, or the black option. And as we show you that, you can see those Draylon fibres that knit together that stop those leaks in their tracks. So white, grey or black, and that goes for all 3 different sizes that we've got available for you. Easiest way for you to see everything is on the website, ShopOnTV.co.uk. You'll see all the options that we have available on the show. You can even catch up on our shows that have already been on YouTube, and we have our own YouTube channel, and you can catch all the previous shows. And if you want to shop the brands, my word, we've got over 700,000 products on our website. We've got everything from books to designer perfumes to all your household goods. Just go into brands and have a look through the alphabet. Whatever you want to shop for, it's all there in the brands section. So take a little look. We put in Armani, and my word, have we got some Armani available for you. So, oh, there it is, my favourite, Acqua di Gio. That's a lovely aftershave. If you want to go for some aftershave, I would recommend that one. But get back to our live show. You'll see not only do we have the roof fix, we also have something called Black Magic. This is brilliant, isn't it?
Now, for those viewers who watched earlier on, I did say I got a great demonstration. So I'd like to start with this, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
So this here is a little fire pit that I got from the house where I've moved into with my wife Elliot's her brother's house, and this was what they had. Now this here looks quite dreadful, if I do say so. You can see that there is loose, look at that, you can see the loose rust running away. So when we come to do something like this, what we would do is we would get our wire brush, and what we would do is we would simply, look at that. Now I'm going to put this onto the desk so you can see. Get rid of that loose rust, okay? And once you've done that, that is your preparation. Look what's come off of that. Okay, now if you have different types of metal that you don't get a wire brush to, well, you could get some sandpaper if you wanted to, and you can just give it a light sand if you wish, okay? Some people hate that sound, right? Now look at all of that loose rust is gone, it's all there. Now it's fine to leave that rust color just there, because that's absolutely fine, because what this has inside of it, a chemical reaction happens actually when you put this on. It takes the bits of rust and there's a reaction to it. I can't remember the name of what, the actual name of what it does, but it turns that rust, it gets rid of it.
Sort of locks it, doesn't it?
Locks it in, and then, and it stops it coming back again. But if you just have a close look here at this, and I'm going to just paint this now just to show you the difference in before and after with this. Now, if you wanted to even, you could give, actually, look at that, that's a good thing, because look at, there's some little bits of...
You just want the bits gone.
Yeah, the
You're
bits
actually
gone.
going to paint on top of the rust.
That's exactly
but you
it.
just
So
want
look at
the
that.
bits gone.
Get rid of the bits so it has the purchase, right? So now I'm just going to get this this bit of the Black Magic here, and I'm going to give it a good old shake. And again, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to pop this on, and I'm going to then paint to my heart's content.
Now again, there's not a lot of skill required here.
No, absolutely
That's
not.
not an insult to you, Alan.
It's
the
okay.
amazing thing is,
I understand.
it doesn't seem to leave any brush marks. It gives a really sort of satiny finish. So it looks like it was how you first bought it. It doesn't look like you've painted
Looks brand
something.
new.
Yeah, it does.
It does look
really
brand
does
new,
give.
yeah.
I'm just going to just dip this down a little bit just so I don't want to get it onto the desk. I'm just going around the edge.
It's a fire
here.
pit, so now
Yeah.
you've painted it, will we still be able to use it at that temperature?
Absolutely. This will be able to withstand temperatures up to 500 degrees
Wow,
Fahrenheit,
look at the
or
easy
indeed
it
that's
is.
about 260 degrees centigrade. So just look at that now, and all of that rust that was there doesn't matter. We got rid of
How
the loose
quick
bits,
as
That's
well.
and how
amazing.
easily and how smoothly that went on. And as that dries, that's going to look $1 million. That's
You can
going to look so
imagine.
great.
Yeah.
Really even as well, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a
Absolutely
brilliant
brilliant.
finish. It really is. And that's as easy as that. You don't have to use a primer. You don't have to use an overcoat or
clever.
anything like that. Literally all we're using is the black magic. And that's really the brilliant thing about
And
this
it's
is
not
that...
just for, sorry Alan, it's
No,
not
of
just
course.
for metal, is it?
No,
It's
absolutely
for
not.
so many
Yeah,
different
but-
types of surfaces.
I'll show you as we go down the desk here, because I was really keen, because I didn't get around to showing you that earlier on, but I wanted you to see that, how easy it is. And I'm not very much of a
It's going to
painter.
look new again, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
it
just
is
a
gonna
few
look great.
ideas of where you can apply it to. We're going to show you some befores and afters as well. But any of these materials, it's actually probably easier for me to ask Alan, what doesn't it work on, Alan?
Yeah, well, that is the great question, quite frankly. So basically, it doesn't work on shiny metals. Well, we say it doesn't work on shiny metals. It does, but you have to pre-treat them. And when I say that
Right.
to you, if you're using it on chrome or copper or something like that, that's the type of thing we're talking about. And I have a little demonstration to show you, actually. By the way, it goes on glass as well. I didn't have room to put my glass piece up here today, but that's fine. It does go onto glass as well. But you can see all this brick and stone, plaster, multis of MDF, composite, bumpers, wheels. So bumpers, that's on a car. Yes, you heard right. Concrete, hot surfaces. Make sure they're not hot when you put it on, but you know what I mean by that, because it will withstand up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, 260
So
degrees
a fire
centigrade.
surround,
Yeah.
or we've got a before and after of one of those burners in the garden.
Yeah,
and it
chimney,
will
yeah.
withstand that sort of temperature. But we'll show you here live in the studio exactly how this works on a shiny metal, because this is the only thing that it won't work on, but it has.
But it has. So it won't, if you get this copper here, or if it is, you know, a piece of steel or something like that, or chrome, it won't adhere to it straight away because it's shiny. But what you would do is get a little bit of sandpaper and sand it for just a moment, just to put some scratches on it, and then it will adhere. And that's exactly what we did here to that. And you can see
So
that
you
it is
just
stuck
rough
to
it
that.
up a little bit.
Rough it up, yes,
Fab.
yes.
And again, look at that finish.
And look at the finish, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely
Even in
beautiful.
the bit where it's got the...
Yeah.
The little twist, yeah, the little bend.
It's amazing
It's
how it
perfect.
doesn't sort of lump up, and this is the same in something
brilliant.
that's, you know, really intricate. Normally you'd have blobs of paint or some drip
Yes,
marks.
yeah.
There'd be, you'd try and paint that, but it wouldn't look that perfect. That looks like how I bought it.
Yeah, and I was going to just say, actually, it's quite magical, but then I was going, oh, that's actually because it's got black magic, but it really is, and it's a wonderful one. For no primers.
That's very
You
good,
don't
very
have to do...
It's like on a game show.
It is, isn't it? Yeah,
Very good presentation.
yeah. Higher than a 4,
Yeah.
a 2.
Dolly dealer.
Dolly dealers, yeah, yeah.
The detail's spectacular, isn't it? Like you say, no primer.
No primers, no overcoats,
slap it
nothing
on.
like that. Just slap it on, just get it on there, and that's it. But please remember, when we talk about flag paints, they've been around since 1939, and they really are specialists in paint. They don't make them for the general public. They don't make it for that. They do it for industry.
Yeah.
But we're lucky enough that they did, about 15, 20 years ago, get into some shopping TV, and they just carried on doing it because it's been a success for
Probably
them.
been sort of the #1 DIY product sold on many shopping channels
Yeah.
for many, many years. You got very much TV exclusive with us at the moment, and you're seeing that gorgeous seat. You could have upcycled that, and that could have been a fortune in a garden centre. You could have, you know, all of a sudden it's worth a few £100
Yeah,
rather than so little. And
Just look at
these
the gate.
ideas are great.
Yeah, it's brilliant. These ideas are great. They're great. They're wonderful. They really are. I saw some kids stealing a gate the other day. I was going to say something to them, but I thought they might take offence.
Oh, God.
You
This
really
is an
need your own
exercise
sound
bike.
effect. You do.
If you want to cycle away, you can't on this bike.
No, you're stuck.
I'm going to get on this one.
Oh, yeah, I think we'll both get
cycle
on it.
through Covent Garden. Now, all you need to do, again, is just paint this on, and it gives a satin finish. It's a rust converter, so it actually locks in the rust, and it stops that rust from coming back. So even if you look at something and you think it's beyond repair, how bad is that? There's no. If I paint on top of that, it's just going to come through rusty again.
These were getting thrown out.
They
weren't
were. Jim was thrown
And
out.
so if you're upcycling, maybe you've got a small business
Look at
and you
that.
think, oh my goodness, and it's
new
quick.
again.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, and you
you're
saw
not
that.
spending hours on it, are you?
Yeah, and you saw that a second ago when I painted that, like literally from my garden, full of rust. We just brushed it away and we did it, so it was easy to do.
And you can match everything up. Maybe you've got lots of mismatched plant pots in the garden. You want them all matching. You can do that with the Black Magic. Just slap it on, get a great result. We talked about it being heat resistant as well, didn't we, Alan?
500 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
I'm an old-fashioned sort of a guy, even though I'm only 29. I wish. But that's about 260 degrees Celsius.
Great.
I mean, that is fabulous. And that looks new again. It looks like you just bought it. And that's what's so great about this incredible paint, is it does transform things. It gives them a new lease of life. It's quite incredible when you see it applied, how quick and easy it is to apply, but then how it gives you such a professional finish.
It's like they call it a factory finish, don't they?
yeah.
Like it's brand new. Now, if we go back to the beginning of the story, because I think this is a really good story about how Martin
Oh,
took
the pop
it
bottles.
to the buyers, didn't he?
Yeah.
He took
So
it
he
to the
was-
buyers on a channel.
He really didn't have. They're such a huge company. They had no real interest in, you know, not that they didn't have any interest. They weren't going, we're not supplying to the public. But because they were so big in industry and so big, but they were asked to come along to a shopping channel back in the day and to bring one of their specialist paints. So he said, well, okay, I'm going to do that. And then he said, just bring a little demo of how it works and what it does and to give us an idea. So what Martin did was, not this exact one, but I will show you the exact one. He brought a pop bottle like this, and this has been painted with the Black Magic. I promise you, it has. And then he said, look, you can squeeze it. It doesn't crack. It doesn't flake. It doesn't do anything. And he also brought a competitor's bottle, not this one, but he said, look, when you crack this here, it flakes and you can see the bits falling off already.
Paint.
Competitor's paint, I should say, not competitor's
You're
bottle.
going to need a new one of them.
Right,
soon.
yeah.
Going to need a new one of these soon. But what happened was the original bottle, and I promise you this, the original bottle that Martin brought like this was this. But it looked like that. And the buyer, and actually I know who the buyer was, and I'm not surprised he did this. He went, I'll be a smart aleck. And I'll do this. To see how good this is. And he twisted this very bottle, and it's still here with us today. And even if I open it and close it like that, it's still not cracking,
still
it's still not
covered.
flaking
Yeah.
after all those years. And I can't tell you that's the original bottle if it's not. That to that, or do you want that one? It really is flexible. It is fantastic. And so many different places you can paint this onto too. That is incredible. And there's a little story about that
When you see the
too.
befores and afters, they're amazing.
Yeah. So if you look at this here, like we said earlier on, you would get a wire brush and just scrape away. But people used to think that, well, if there was some of the old paint there that they couldn't get off, they're going to have to go and get primer, going to have to do, or go and get paint remover and going to have to just sandblast it, whatever. No, leave that there. And if that's stuck well, and paint over it with the Black Magic, and it's absolutely fine. It will still be the amazing
I mean,
finish you
that
had
is
earlier.
amazing. And that paint could be any colour, but you paint straight over it and it'll look just like this, perfect.
Finish,
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's great on outside guttering, it's great on items indoors as well, whether you're using this on handles. But honestly, just paint it on. You might look at something and think, hang on, it's far too rusty, I can't apply it onto this. We don't have to get rid of the rust, do we? Just the flaky bits.
Just the flaky bits. Just again, what Martin did there was a little bit of sandpaper and just lightly sanded the pieces down. That's all you have to do. And then literally just paint over it with the Black Magic. Now remember, no primer. You don't have to use anything first. It is just the Black Magic, that's it. By the way, that 1 litre will cover quite a lot too, because it doesn't take a lot to cover over. This, you would think that's going to break any minute because it's so rusty, but it's not. Save it
Look at
and
that.
literally just take away those loose bits and repaint it. And that looked dreadful, but now it looks fantastic.
And you see no rusty areas, the rust isn't coming through. It neutralises the rust and honestly gives you this factory finish that it looks like this is how you bought it. Upcycling things, selling things on, making money out of products.
One coat as well. In 99% of the time, it is one single coat. The only time that you might have to use a second coat is if you paint it onto a surface that's porous, like wood or something like that, you may have to put a second coat on. But other than that, it's just one.
And remember, it virtually goes onto any material apart from a shiny metal, but it will work on shiny metal if you sort of sand it down first. 2 options of size. You're looking at the details for the smaller 1 litre, £26. We're busy on that. 533558 is your item number, but we're busier on the larger tin, which is the best option to go for and usually sells out, but we did have a good amount of stock today.
We always, nearly always sell out of the 2.5 litre tin. So if you want to go for it, 974362 is your item number. Down to £45, 16.65 on your first of 3 interest.
I love these befores and afters. Really gives you an idea of how you can use it inside and out and the difference that it makes. I mean, it makes things look new again. So if you're looking around your home thinking, better replace that, no, honestly, use this. We've got radiators at home that we've had people in to paint them and they flaked because the paint wouldn't withstand temperature. This will withstand those temperatures as well. Absolutely love this product and lots of you putting this in with your roof fix as well, which is a really good idea.
So all those different areas around the home, indoors, outdoors, heat resistant. It's such a versatile bit of kit. Things like garage doors look brand new.
Idea, yeah.
Looks brand new, doesn't it? That factory finish that we talk about. And again, if you're thinking about things like guttering, these blew me away because they look like they need replacing. With you black magic over the top, they look like brand new cast iron gutters.
They can go quite powdery and faded, can't they, as they weather? Yeah, but this will actually very much weatherproof them and it just looks so tidy. If you're trying to sell your property, it's a lot of it's about curb appeal. If someone turns up and thinks, oh gosh, there's a lot of work needs doing here, I won't even bother looking inside, that instantly makes that property just look a little bit fresher, a little bit, nicer, and that's what it's all about, really brightening up. And even if you're outdoor furniture, if you've got lots of different tables and chairs, and some are plastic, some are wood, you can match all of them together with an amazing love seat like this. I love this. It's so intricate, most paints would destroy that. They'd be dripping, the gaps would be gone. But this, actually, because it's so well designed, you virtually just dab it on and it will look like you bought it in black.
No brush marks.
Not a brush mark inside.
Look at that. It looks brand new, doesn't it? And the finish, it really does finish things off beautifully. As you paint across there, you literally just dab it on. There's no skill required. And that finish, well, if you wanted to upcycle that, you wanted to then sell that on, you'd easily...
That could be in a garden centre with a nice brown posh label on it, a few £100s. It looks really expensive, that. Amazing value for money. Can be applied to loads of different products. So we said the easiest thing to say is it doesn't apply to a shiny metal, but actually if you sand the shiny metal down, it will apply to that. So virtually all and everything. So 974362 is your item number. But we've got to get back to our busiest product, which of course is our flag paint roof fix. And that's exactly what it does. It fixes any leaks. Any leaks
on pretty much any building material. Now we're going to bring you the best value bundle because this has been the busiest. If you want to check out the other sizes, we've got a 1 and a 5 litre available on the website, but go for this one at £179.99 and you've got 20 square metres of coverage. That's enough to do a garage roof and still have some left over, but at this price it's like you're getting a tin free. This is how easy it is to apply. Just take away any excess debris and then you're ready to go.
And it's what it does. It stops the leak. If you've got a leaking roof, whether that's the garage, whether that's the shed, that's why it comes in different colours. It might be a conservatory, it might be a bay window. You virtually just slap this on whether you're painting it or in a minute you'll see it being used with a squeegee, and it allows you might have a tiny leak in a bay window, you can just paint it in that area. It seals the leak. It's Draylon fibres that weave together. Now this is not available in a DIY store. This is a TV, very much a TV exclusive exclusive because this is a trade paint from Flag Paints, and they actually are approved by the Ministry of Defence, London Underground. They've been used by one of the largest antique venues in Europe, and to protect their antiques, they've got this on their roof so they don't get any leaks, and that's what this product is all about. And Sean, though it's so easy to apply, and you think, oh, it's just probably a temporary fix, then it lasts for ages.
It does, and that's the great thing about it. Instant fix, but it can last 10 years and beyond. You could save yourself thousands. Maybe you think you need a new roof. Maybe it just needs roof fix to waterproof it, to make it watertight, and it looks great as well. Now, it's not just available in black. You've also got it available in a white and a grey option as well. So 360407 is the most popular bundle that we've got on the show because it gives you those 4 5-litre tins that you see there. You get 20 litres in total. It's like you get one of those tins free of charge, and because you're spending over £30, if you want to use PayPal Pay in 3, if you're paying online on our website ShopOnTV.co.uk, you can take advantage of PayPal, so spread the cost. And on the web you see all the different sizes that we've got of everything on the show.
And remember, it works on any building materials. We've actually showed you how it waterproofs cardboard and gets rid of the holes in a cardboard box. How amazing is that? It seals those holes. It's all about getting a product that solves the problem. When you look at the 5-star reviews, so many people say exact same. Saved me a fortune, saved me thousands of pounds. We were going to get a roofer in, and then we thought we'll try roof fix ourselves. And honestly, you don't need to be a DIYer. You virtually slap this on and the job is done. And this is how good it is.
It's this simple. I'm just going to share a review with you. I got roof fix to repair my garage roof as it was leaking. Oh my, I'd had estimates of £3,500 to repair the roof. I sat on the sofa, my wife made me a cup of tea. As I was drinking my tea, my wife was watching Roof Fix, and I said, what is this Roof Fix? And she said to me, watch it and see. I was amazed at how easy this product was to administer to my garage roof. Also, to my amazement, it was so easy and got results. For such a great product, thank you. And that's what it's about. But it's not just roofs, it's gutters as well. And it's not just UPVC guttering. You can use it on things like concrete, on cast iron gutters. You get the same results. Instant fix.
Any building materials, it could be a flat roof, it could be flashing, it could be porches, it could be guttering, it could be PVC, it could be a garage roof, it could be roofing panels, it could be a shed, a conservatory, a greenhouse, a lean-to. It doesn't matter. If you've got a leak, we've got the problem solver, and it's an instant problem solver that actually lasts up to 10 years. Well, actually 10 years or more beyond, yeah, for so many people. All you do is virtually slap this on. Remember, any building material, we've waterproofed cardboard live in the studio, but if you're going for that larger bundle, you're saving £60. Now, one 5-litre tin is £59.99 with us, so you are getting, you're actually getting a tin completely free of charge in this bundle if you go with normal price. This bundle will cover 20 square metres, and that is an average garage roof with some left over. And sadly, because of the weather we're having, it's really hot. Our buildings expand and contract with the weather as it's hot and it's cold and it's hot and it's cold. And that's how the gaps happen. You see the slits on the side of the room sometimes, don't you? You think, how did that happen? And that's what's happening in your roof. So the great thing with this is once it's fixed the problem, it also expands. So as your buildings change again with the weather, that leak doesn't come back for 10 years or more. Choose your colour options, but be really quick. Black's been well, actually, black and grey have both been really busy. White, you've got that for your conservatory, for your bay windows and things like that.
So there are your 3 colour options in all your different sizes. White, grey or black are those options. We've got to get back to Alan before the end of the show. Remember, we're live until 3 a.m. every morning, but we are also on Freeview. You can join us on Freeview Channel 89 in the daytime. We go from midnight right through till 6 p.m. every single day. That's Freeview Channel 89. So when it comes to roof fix, It's really simple to apply as well. So just get rid of any excess debris, as you can see here. Take that debris away, and then once you've done that, well, Alan can explain exactly how easy it is to apply, Alan.
Yeah, it's simple. It is literally the word we use is slap it on. And please, you don't have to be thinking, oh, I've never painted before, I'm not sure I'm that good at it. You don't need to be. Just take some time around the edges and then just throw it into the center, pour it out and bring it like that with a squeegee. A squeegee on a handle like that is going to cost you 4 or 5 quid. Just do the whole roof with it. If you're wondering how much coverage, it's 1 litre per square metre. So if you have a 5 litre tin, you would just measure out a 5 square metre area, put a bit of, you know, a bit of chalk, pour it in the middle and just spread it out to the lines.
That's a great idea, yeah.
Super, super easy. You know, do get rid of them. But if you have those loose stones up on your roof, because you like that, you know, brush them away and save them, put down the roof fix and then put them back later on in a few days, you know, if you wanted to, you know, that's fine. So basically, just to recap on what we did, because we are really pushed for time, I think now, aren't we? So if we look at this just here, this area we put a big hole in it. I can't even remember where the hole is now because you can't see it, can't find it. But I put a big hole somewhere in this just here. And what I did is I poured it on, and I just got the squeegee and I covered this roof. Now what we would do here is, this is where the paintbrush would come in. I would get a paintbrush and I would then fill in the edges around here, because obviously you don't want to be slapping it on with a squeegee around the edge. So just cover the edges with the paintbrush and you've got this brilliant finish. Now this is not completely dried yet. It takes about 16 or 17 hours to be dry to the touch, but this is absolutely 100% waterproof right now. I could start pouring water on that now for the next 2 days and none of it will come through. It is absolutely watertight.
That torrential rain that we have sometimes, the leak has stopped. Whether that's on a roof or whether that's guttering, any building material, which is brilliant.
And the thing about it as well is, now that you know, we are thankfully getting the better weather, and you might think, well, this is a great time to do something like this. Well, get up there and do it right now, you know,
while
so then you're
dry,
covered. Because as we say, it's not a temporary fix. It is for 10 years or more, and you know, we keep talking about that, but it's true. So do it now and it's done, so when the winter comes, you don't have to worry.
And our weather is really extreme.
It is. I mean, the weather at the minute is amazing.
Gorgeously
and that's
hot,
really making your buildings sort of react. And then the cold weather will come, or the colder days will come, and the rain will come, and that's when that leak's happened, because the buildings are moving all the time.
Weather going from one extreme to another in one day.
We do. Now, here's the thing. We get potholes in the road because of that exactly. Heat and cold, expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction. And that's why we get the potholes. And on roofs and stuff like that, that's why we get cracks. It's the same thing. Now, when you use this, because it's thermoacrylic, we don't have to worry, because it expands and contracts with the material that it's on. And by the way, don't worry if you're thinking, well, I'm a bit of a scientist and I know these things, that the felt will expand and contract at different rates than the timber, and that will go at different rates than the, you know, than the brickwork and the flashing. Doesn't matter. This will, if it's side by side and it's all the one coating you have, it will expand differently with what's underneath. It doesn't matter. It's a genius paint. And the real key to this is, and why it's so good and different than everything else, is these little fellows here. These are Draylon fiber reinforcements, okay? And you can see those. Now, I promise you this, these have to be exact. These have to be cut to the nanometer. Each size has to be exactly the same length and the same thickness, or it simply doesn't do the job. And I said to Martin, I said, well, Martin, hang on a second. If they're half of them or half the size, he said, Alan, it doesn't work. If they're longer or shorter, it doesn't work. They have to be absolutely bang on, and that's why they use a computer-controlled machine to cut those Draylon fibers.
And what do they do, those Draylon fibers?
They literally do this. So if you excuse my hands, I've been picking things up and messing around here. They literally get in and they knit together, and that's what creates the bridge, the fix. And it grabs like that, and then it holds it together, and therefore you fix that hole. Now, don't just think it's little holes either. Have a look at the size of the chunk we got out of this here. Just so you can see that. Again, look on the other side, roof fix. Immediately it became waterproof. That's how good it is. This one just here, have a look at this. This has been cut all the way through, so it was 2 separate pieces. Put on the desk, it was put down and pushed together, and it was put roof fix on it, and now that is completely fixed. I don't want to push it because
if some of your gutterings come apart and you've got a leak, it will actually fit rather than having to replace all that
the
guttering.
whole guttering.
the whole thing.
Amazing.
Absolutely
And of course,
brilliant.
you've got white. We've used black so you can see it, but there is a white option for you as well, and you've got a
Absolutely.
grey option as well.
Told you about how it's thermoacrylic and how flexible it is. Look at this here. It doesn't matter. It's not cracking. You can actually see in this those Draylon fibres. If you look here, you can see them knitting together. And if I flick it around, you can see how smooth it is at the back. But it's literally all of those knitting together. And it's then when you move it that those Draylon fibres and, of course, the thermoacrylic properties of this allows it to move.
And that stops it being a temporary fix.
Stops it being a temporary fix, yeah. You're not going to end up with cracks in this. And that's why it's going to be good for 10 years or more.
10 years
and that's
or
why,
more.
remember, Flag Paints, all that they do is they make things for industry,
specialise,
basically.
don't
Specialised, very, very specialised. Ministry of Defence, you know, London Underground, all these specialist paints that are needed. They have to be the best of the best. And I promise you this, folks, you are getting the best of the best with this. And that's Martin, that's Mr. Flag Paint, just there, wonderful guy, and just the most humble gentleman when you speak to him, and really is super proud of his product, and so he should be too.
Yeah.
I mean,
it does what it says on the tin,
absolutely.
doesn't it?
And you saw that there. The leak has gone. It was leaking. Roof fix been applied, virtually just slapped on. There was no technique there at all. But instantly, the leak has gone.
It stops that problem straight away. A
Amazing.
multi-surface, remember. Now, if you've been to a DIY store when you've had a leak and they've said to you, oh, we've got this bitumen, we compare them, the two side by side, because bitumen does have waterproofing properties.
100%. So with that felt roof, if we put bitumen on a normal felt roof, it would make that waterproof. If we put bitumen onto cardboard, which hopefully we might get to show you again, I'm not sure if we have time or not, it will make it waterproof, but it doesn't make it watertight. So where there's gaps, it doesn't fill the gaps. And I'm going to show you this just here, okay, the difference in that. So I'm going to just say, I'm going to do it on the piece of paper we had already, but I've got these little tiny little funnels just here, okay? And you can see how tiny they actually are. The tiny little hole in the end of these. So, you know, it's got to be rather thin to go through.
The tiniest hole can cause the biggest problem, can't it?
Exactly, that's very, very true. Right, let me grab this here. So I'm going to open this and just show you some bitumen. Now, again, when you go to a DIY store with the problem with your roof, they will genuinely recommend bitumen to you, and it does make things waterproof. But remember, what it doesn't do is it doesn't bridge the gap, and I'm going to show you the perfect demonstration for that. So as I get the bitumen and pour it in there, where it's catching, it will make it waterproof, but it's not filling that hole, and it is not blocking the problem.
Just
it's
runs
not fixing
straight
it. It
through,
runs straight
So that's
through.
made the problem worse if that's dripping over
Yes,
your lawnmower and the kids' bikes in the shed.
Yeah,
exactly.
All of a sudden, that's a bigger problem than it was before. So it hasn't solved the leaking problem at all. Though
hasn't.
bitumen will be recommended for leaks, it will waterproof property, areas, but it doesn't solve the leaks.
Stop the gap.
No,
This is
it
the
will not.
difference, because Flag Paints are amazing roof fix. You can't find
Look at
in a
that.
DIY store. Look at the thickness to that. I mean, it doesn't even look like a paint.
I'm even
does it?
trying to push it through, look. You can see
Wow.
that will sit there quite happily, and that will not drip through. And I just want to show you something as well on this, okay? So if I just pick this up here and I show you, you cannot see through that, but if I pick this up
Ooh.
and I do that, you can see right through the end of it. See that? Look.
Yeah, there we go.
You see that?
Yeah.
So it
'Cause
hasn't,
it hasn't sealed the leak.
sealed the hole.
It just
but
runs
yet
through.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
it runs through. Now, it has made where the bitumen is, that is, well, plastic is waterproof anyway, but you can see what I mean is if that was paper or that was roofing, it would make that waterproof, but
That's it.
it's not bridging that gap and filling the hole.
Fabulous.
And that there shows you the difference in roof fix and just regular bitumen, and that genuinely is the difference, and that's why we recommend it so highly. It is such an incredible product.
It's a pleasure to
Solves
sell,
the
and it's
problem.
probably one of our best DIY products. And over the years that we've worked with it, has always been the best DIY product. It virtually waterproofs any material.
It really does, yeah, all those different surfaces. Now, the best buy is the 4 5-litre tins that you see there. It should add up to £240. It's like we're giving you a tin free of charge. So it comes down to £179.99, £31 on your first of 3 interest-free payments. If you want to use PayPal, pay in 3 if you're paying online on our website, ShopOnTV.co.uk. Roof Fix can be applied to all these different surfaces. That's why it's Roof Fix M. M stands for multi-surface, so wood, galvanised steel, metals, acrylics, PVCs, tiles, and then all the different types of guttering as well.
It is quite incredible, isn't it? We've even proven it waterproofs cardboard,
Yeah.
which is amazing. It blows your mind. You can't believe. But that's how good it is. You can see here, whatever building material, you have got a product. You'd think that was way beyond repair. You're going to have to replace that. It looks so much better,
great.
but the leaks have gone.
Yeah, it's filled in any holes that are there.
How great
and
is
stopped those leaks, remember. Look at the state of the metal finish there, but with your Roof Fix, not only does it fix the roof, it looks good as well after the application. It looks so much better, doesn't it?
It is quite incredible. Whether that's a garage roof, whether it's shed roof, whether it's a bay window.
2 different types of
Well,
surface.
it works on
Or
any
3,
building
really.
material, and that's why we can, Alan, put it onto any building material,
Yeah.
and it will work the same and last the same on everything.
Absolutely, it makes no odds what you're putting it onto. And again, both of those, the corrugated iron and of course the corrugated plastic, both of them will expand and contract at different times. They will get different heat levels as well. You know, one will get hotter than the other. Doesn't matter. Roof Fix holds and it contracts and expands with it.
And carries on working for 10 years or more. It fixes that leak. 3 different sizes. £22.99 is your 1 litre, 1 square metre. But then you can then up to the 5 litre, and the 5 litre is actually 5 times larger than that, but it's not 5 times the price. So that is £59.99. And then your 4 cans of 5 litre is our best value for money, which should be £179.99. It's like you're getting a full tin free of charge.
And all available in 3 colours, remember, at the moment, whilst we've got them in stock. Black, grey or white are your colour options, depending where you're going to use them.
Very quickly, if I may, I want to show you my favourite demonstrations. We got 2 sieves and we genuinely got bitumen onto a paintbrush and we painted the inside of this here. But you can see it didn't hold. It ran through just like I showed you earlier.
Still a sieve,
and
Al.
it's still a sieve. But now watch this, okay? Because we got the same type of sieve and we put the Roof Fix inside.
That's
it's no longer a sieve.
Brilliant.
It has completely held that in.
It completely.
It seals it completely.
They're so tiny, those holes,
those
aren't
holes.
they? But it seals every little hole.
Every one of them.
Look at this, guys. Look
Oh,
at, feel
yeah.
that.
Oh, wow.
So this box is
Game
one I've been
over.
using for a couple of weeks. I have completely covered the inside of it with the bitumen, which does make it waterproof, but it doesn't bridge gaps and holes. And because I show you this demonstration, when I pour this in, it runs out the end. As it's running out the end, it's actually wetting the cardboard and it's destroying it.
So the inside is waterproofed, the outside's being damaged because it hasn't
Yeah.
solved
It hasn't
The leak.
sealed the leaks and the
problem,
holes.
yeah.
So that's an issue. But this box here, I promise you, this one has been in action for around 15 years or more. And again, look at this with Roof Fix on the inside of it. And again, look at that. No leaks whatsoever. I
No,
didn't hold
not
that
a
up.
leak.
Not a leak inside. And this box has been going for ages.
It's
You can see
watertight,
how good it
isn't
is.
it? Yeah.
And again, you can see some water marks on the back where it's been used and paint and stuff like that because it's ancient, but yet inside that is still absolutely brilliant and watertight, and that's the real difference. And honestly, it's just such an incredible product.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It really is. And then when it comes to the surfaces again, to recoup on all the different surfaces, because it is Roof Fix and
It
multi-surface.
is. So we're using it here on guttering, whether it's your downpipe or your gutters, just here. You're using it, of course, then on felt, you're using it on tiles, you're using it on composite, you're using it on chipboard, any type of wood. And again, you're using it on plastics, you can use it on all sorts. It doesn't make any odds. You can see some ideas there. And you can see where the big split is here. The bitumen, you can still see through that to the wood behind because it doesn't fill that hole like we showed you. But look here, Roof Fix with those fabulous fibres, they knit in together, those Drayline fibres, and they bridge that gap.
It is amazing,
It
isn't it?
really is across
Problem
all
solved.
those different surfaces. It is the problem solver, and this is how simple it is to apply. Well, if you've got a problem, if you've got a leaky roof, just clear away any excess debris, and then you just slap it on. Now, Martin in this clip puts a little bit underneath. That's really clever because it sort of seals it down.
Yeah, it just seals it down, and if there's a little hole underneath as well, it's just going to cover that. But you don't need to do that. It's just an extra little bit of precaution, but good for 10 years or more.
Absolutely amazing, incredible value for money. Think about the money you could save and think you can fix that leak yourself. You virtually slap it on and that leak has instantly gone. And it's not temporary. This can last up to 10 years, or 10 years or more, and any building material. So we're talking not just about roofs and conservatory roofs and bay windows, guttering as well.
And all your different guttering, whether it's PVC, cast iron, metal, it could be copper or concrete, the same effect with Roof Fix. Slap it on and it fills that hole. It stops that leak in its tracks. 3 colours to choose from. You got black, you got grey, and you got white. And the best buy is the 20 litres. You get 4 5-litre containers, and you'll get 20 square metres because 1 litre is 1 square
metre, and a single car garage is about 18 square metres.
Right.
It could be a little bit more, a little bit less, but on average about 18.
So you got a bit left over.
Gives you a little bit left over, exactly.
Yes, put that in the shed for when that leak happens, because our buildings are moving all the time, and that creates the gaps in your roofs, in your bay windows, and that creates the leak. So you've got the fix, and so many people have solved that fix.
And saved thousands of pounds.
Saved so much money.
On not having to replace an entire roof. And so do confirm your orders and check your baskets out. Make sure you get those deals. Thank you, Alan.
It's been a real pleasure.
It's flown by.
2 favourite people and my favourite products. So
what a great night. Do continue watching on Freeview 89. You can switch over straight away to ShopOnTV and watch us through the night.
And make sure you check your baskets through, because we don't have this show every day of the week. So while we have the stock, check out those baskets and solve that problem instantly. But 10 years or more, it's going to last.
I'll see you later.
We'll see you later.